extension with the Cornhuskers this week, takes him out of the running to, be Penn State's next head coach, and keeps him at Nebraska and makes him one of the highest paid coaches in college football going forward. So Rule got the contract. Now it's time to make good on that contract. And how do you do that? It's by doing something that no coach has been able to do in Nebraska now for almost a decade, and that is beat a ranked team. USC comes into this week ranked 23rd in the country. Nebraska has lost 28 straight games against ranked opponents. They had one earlier this season at home against Michigan late in September, and that was set up for them to finally break the streak. At that time, it was only 27, and you had a true freshman quarterback in Bryce Underwood making his first or second road start. You had no Sherrod Moore in that game. He was suspended from his involvement in the sign-stealing scandal. And so that was, I thought, tailor-made for Nebraska to end their streak, to end the losing streak against
All right, guys, got about 1 minute.
Michigan, I think, was a mid-20 or an early 20s team, like 21, 22. I can't remember off the top of my head exactly what their ranking was in that game, but it was in that area, right near what USC is. Now is a moment for them. And instead, their defense got absolutely trounced as Michigan ran for 286 yards in that game and 3 touchdowns, and Michigan ended up winning 30-27. And by the way, a game that was really not that close. Nebraska got a Hail Mary at halftime to score a touchdown in a lucky way, and also scored a touchdown late in garbage time to make that score closer than it really was. Michigan dominated that game. And I thought that was a game that was set up for them to succeed.
About 15 seconds.
This game is equally set up for Nebraska at home to finally break the streak and win. And I don't have a lot of it's weird. This game I have no feel for because I don't trust.
We interrupt your regular scheduled programming for this special presentation from Wildcats Radio 1290. Wildcats Nation, are you ready?
Fafita, gun, takes the snap, firing, corner of the end zone, cop, touchdown, Arizona.
That's a strike by Noah Fafita.
Short drop, looking right, here comes the pressure, they sack him, get him to the ground. Oh, perfect timing for the Wildcats. Kick is up and it's blocked. Wildcats block it and they pick it up. And I don't think anybody's going to catch it. And it's picked off. Trayton Stooks throws toward the back of the end zone, and it's caught. Samuelson, touchdown, Arizona.
Bear down, Cats.
Let's go.
Our Window Depot coverage of UA football begins with Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. The pregame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. We are counting down to kickoff for Arizona football. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Here comes the rush. Pump fake again. Gets away. Fires on the run. Caught for the first down and more. And there goes Trey Spivey. He's going to score. 10-5. Touchdown, Arizona. Looking for a hole. He's to the 5. Wigman's into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston.
Yeah, they really had Arizona on their heels that time.
Straight back to the door. Here comes the rush. Throws his head. And it's knocked away. Cozio, the intended receiver. Heck of a play by Genesis Smith. Right on target to slap the ball away. Wigman back to throw. Looks, fires the pass to the end zone. Caught by Cozio. Touchdown, Houston. High backfield behind Fafita under center. He'll hand off. Risano into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona.
Heck of a drive right there for Arizona. Outstanding play calling on that drive there. Arizona did a great job of moving the ball up and down the field.
41-yard attempt almost straight away for Ethan Sanchez to win the game for Houston. There's the snap, ball down, kick is up, plenty of distance, and it is good, and Houston wins the game.
Yeah, it seems like that was eons ago when the Arizona Wildcats played at the Houston Cougars 2 weeks ago this Saturday, and now we are ready for are you ready for the stretch run? 5 consecutive games to end the 2025 regular season. It is Football Saturday in Boulder, Colorado for your Arizona Wildcats. Homecoming Saturday for the Buffaloes as they welcome in U of A at 4-3 and 1-3 in the Big 12. The Colorado Buffaloes 3-5 and 1-4. Both these teams sitting on the bottom 4 of the standings, looking to put themselves back in the middle and start what they hope will be a successful run on the second half of this season to end things with a bowl game sitting at the end. Welcome to Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. We are coming to you live from the palatial estate here of Arizona Track Director Emeritus, Fred Harvey, who lives right across the street from campus. Like literally, like if this was a home game day, we'd probably be about 200 yards away here at our normal spot, right on the mall. But we've just come across the street to Fred Harvey's house here. It's a beautiful pink stucco multi-level. It has a basement. This is the first house in Tucson that I've been in that had a basement. I'd never seen one here in Tucson with a basement, but he's got that. And we've been talking about this for a long time, maybe potentially doing a show over here, and it fit with the game time. It would not have fit 2 weeks ago when we had to start at 4:30 in the morning, but it fit with this Saturday right here for this game in Colorado against the Buffaloes. Joined as always by my guy. We've got Glenn Howell, the tight end class of 1985. We've got the captain, Kelvin Eafon, from 1998. Fellas, 2 losses in a row to teams that are sitting at the top of this conference. Games that the Wildcats were in to the very end, crushing defeats. But this is a day that you really need to try to win a football game if you want to put your mind right for this final 5-game stretch as you head down the tail end of the season.
Yeah, I tell you what, if I'm on that team and I'm thinking, like, you know what, we just played 2 really good teams and we lost right in the second, I'm getting a little upset. I'm getting a little pissed off that we got to win this game. So I think that how they said that, Colorado got just crushed last week. They're a little pissed off. I think we're a little pissed off also. So, because, we had 2 games that we should have won, and that we were a better team. I thought we were, but we weren't better on the scoreboard, okay? And that's what all it counts. But you know what? You got to be able to think that these guys have confidence enough to go up in Colorado and Boulder and get this game. And I think it's a must-win for us.
Oh, yeah, because you get down to the end of the year, man, where every game is important, especially when your goal is getting to a bowl game. I always talk about bowl games because that's, to me, is what it's about. I mean, now it's the playoffs, but you got to get to a bowl game before you can get to a playoff. So, I think the guys should, be optimistic. I mean, again, they were in these games. It came down to the end, and those are things that they could fix. To me, it would be different if you're getting blowed out by 28.
Yeah,
and
right.
you're looking at each other like, bro, we don't got a chance.
Yeah.
No matter where we go. So they can really look at each other, and you can have meetings that are valuable now because we can literally say, hey, make a couple more tackles here. Hey, let's keep possession of the ball here, and we win this game. So,
it's realistic.
Realistic. That's the word right there. Realistic that we can get this done. But we got some away games, and we got to start with this game where we at right now, Colorado.
Let's how angry were the Wildcats? How angry were the players and the coaches? Let's skip J-Dub to that cut right here. The Brent Brennan talking about the anger in this past bye week.
Yeah, they're pissed off about Houston, man. They're upset about it not finishing against BYU. You know what I mean? So, like to me, the fact that they're more passionate or they're angrier or attacking the opportunity to improve, I'm all for it. Let's go. Let's go, man. It's awesome.
So, a coach who likes the fact that there's a little edge there in the locker room this week.
And absolutely they should be. They should be looking at each other and say, hey, man, we got to shore up our stuff, man. And look at the guy next to you because everybody's at fault at that game, okay? It's not just one person, and they can look at each unit and say, hey, we got to get tighter. We got to make less mistakes and really come together. We have not played a complete game where offense, defense, and special teams played all together at one time. We got to have those games. These last 5 games is the best time to have it. I'm telling you, if we can get something like that'd be great. Just to get all 3 phases of the game playing on the same page, and we can win out.
I'll say this. I think you should already have that edge. It shouldn't take getting your butt kicked a couple times to have that edge, but it usually does when you got some champions. After you win, and a lot of times, you can't get the guy's ear, but a couple losses in a row, and I can understand how coaches can see the guys, really getting pumped up and excited and trying to figure out a way to get it done because there's belief. There's the other side to that, guys, where usually at this point in the season, guys start giving up. Start thinking about we getting in the portal. That's not something I think you have right now with this team. This team still see where they can be successful at.
The Wildcats and the Colorado Buffaloes. So let's hear from Brent Brennan again just on the mentality of this bye week in terms of what the Wildcats wanted to try to accomplish.
Big difference for me in terms of our first to our second bye week. I felt like our players attacked this bye week with a much different edge. There was just a physicality. There was a anger in the practice environment. There was a lot of enthusiasm, but it was intentional and it was aggressive, and I like that.
And defensive fundamentals, obviously, it was a very big point of emphasis with what has happened in the quarterback run game over the course of the last 2 games. That was an extreme focus for this Wildcat crew over the course of the last couple of weeks.
Well, a big part of the bye week that I probably should have mentioned is that there was for us as a coaching staff and as a team, a big, kind of return to fundamentals. And so blocking, tackling, a lot of work in those spaces because we felt like there were a lot of opportunities missed, especially, in the Houston game in terms of tackling and getting people to the football. So living the red line, getting guys population to the football and then finishing when we get there.
And again, guys, that's been the big thing. And you've got another quarterback in Caden Salter. If he's the one that plays, the Buffaloes have used a couple of quarterbacks. He's been their number 1 guy, a transfer out of Liberty University, and he is their second leading rusher. So that that's gonna be an emphasis in there. It's kind of funny. It's like for the Buffaloes, the emphasis for them is going to be trying to copy what the last 2 teams did and being able to run the football in terms of using the quarterback. And for the Wildcats, the emphasis is going to be on defense and blitzing the heck out of Colorado because they haven't been able to stop that the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I think that, we got to settle down and get that. Nobody's going to have more of an emphasis on stopping the run than Colorado. You look at what they had. They gave up 425 yards against Utah. So, that's real. I have never even heard of that.
Right. 420 yards rushing.
Yeah, that's like ridiculous. That's like it hurts your feelings. You might have to go see Dr. Phil or something after that game.
So this sounds like we need to be focused on running the ball.
Running the ball today.
They want to run the ball.
And I say today, we need to have if Noah's thrown the ball over 30 times, we in trouble.
Are we playing into their game?
Yeah, exactly.
No question about that. I mean, that at least that's what you would think. You would think that the modus today would be to run the football. I mean, they 136 FBS teams. They are 134th in rush defense.
That makes no sense.
Yeah. So Seth, just get your face mask on. That's it, man. That's all we're gonna smash mouth.
Deion Sanders this week talked a little bit about Brent Brennan. They don't know each other well, but Deion still has a high respect for the coach of the Arizona Wildcats.
Coach Brennan, great guy, one of the good guys. I don't think there's any guy that coaches in the Big 12 that's not a good guy. I've met all of them. They're great character, studious, authoritarian type of guys. They're leaders. They have principles, and then a tremendous amount of structure. I like him tremendously, and I love the job that he's doing there. You can read his coaching history. He's been several places, but he's one of the good guys, and I like what he's doing at Arizona.
And on the flip
side, it's time to take our first look at today's game. Brought to you by the Window Depot. The Window Depot. Lowest energy prices and biggest inventory. Shop thewindow.depot.com.
And on the flip side, as we take our first look at today's ball game, Brent Brennan shared an interesting story this week on an attempt that he made to try to get in touch with Deion Sanders after he was going through his health issues earlier this summer.
Well, it's interesting because Coach Sanders he's obviously such a private person. You know what I mean? It doesn't seem like that from when like you see the coach prime, but in terms of like no one knew that he'd been going through this for 8 months or whatever it is. So like I have an incredible amount of respect for him and the fact that he's battled through all that. My experience with Coach Sanders, he's a really good guy. He's like fun to talk to. He's got something to say. And being around him in the head coaches meetings, he's really got good insight on a lot of stuff that's going on in college football. And so I really appreciate him. And so I have a tremendous amount of respect for how he's battled through what he's been going through. And I'll tell you a funny story. I tried to call him, and I had an old number, I think. And so I called him, left a message, and then I sent a text. I said, hey, this is Coach Brent in Arizona. Hey, blah, 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 sorry. Just want to let you know I'm thinking about you, just whatever. Impress you're like fighting through this and that you're playing, that you're feeling better, and all. I'm glad you're feeling better, whatever. And so some random person responded like, can you please tell whoever this is that I am not whoever you think I am? So whoever it was that has his old number, doesn't know that that number belonged to Deion Sanders, And so can you imagine just how many random messages he's getting? So it's kind of funny.
Have you ever had a phone like that where it belonged to somebody pretty important before you got it?
No.
That was a funny story that he shared this week about his time with Deion Sanders. All right, we are at the palatial estate here of one Arizona track director emeritus Fred Harvey. Fred, come on over here real quick. Fred's over there taking pictures. He's got the whole I'm gonna show you a little bit of about what it looks like here. Fred, I'm going to have you just grab that microphone right there and jump on with us here. And first of all, Fred, appreciate you having us here today.
Oh, hey, definitely my pleasure. Been excited about trying to do this for the last couple of years to get the show over to Little Mexico here, right across from the McHale Mall. If the impetus is with me is that I'm a major Arizona fan. I mean, whatever the sport it is, I've been here since 1987. I live and breathe red, white, and blue, and to be able to have this opportunity to have the show in the backyard here, it's just a special time.
I think we just had a football great and John Volpe walk in over here as well. We've got invited guests here today. Talk about a guy that can play a little bit right there. So Fred, tell us. I'm gonna pan the camera here a little bit. Tell us about this awesome back. There's a great backstory to this house here and how you came to be the owner of it.
Yeah. So I'm gonna dig deep for you all. So literally right across the street from this home is the McHale Mall, beautiful grass area. To the right side or closer to the north, all the way down the mall is 300 meters from, I believe, from Campbell down to Cherry, I believe it is, okay? And we all the time, when I came here in '87, we ran all of our training sessions out there and on the grass. Yeah. All my meetings with my crew, they had these giant 100-year-old pine trees that were right out there. They replaced the pine trees when they put in RJ, right? Now, you got to understand, I'm 28 years old. I'm looking at this home and has this beautiful Block A and this funky little pink color on it. And I said, the color's a little funky, but I love that Block A over there. And I said, hey, and I told Michael Bay, to my athletes, I said, hey, I'm going to buy that house. And they laughed at me and said, Coach, I don't think you make enough money to buy that home. And I said, well, hey, I'm not buying it tomorrow. Yeah. Okay? But, my life is going to grow as your life is going to grow. And so I'm going to buy that home. So I literally started tracking that home. Like from 1992 on, I started tracking this home. Wow. What was the going rate? Who owned the home? And then what ended up happening was Chris Del Conte, he considers himself the world's greatest AD.
Exactly.
Right? If you let him know.
Perfect description of you, man.
When he was our associate AD here, I said, hey, Chris, one day I know you're going to be moving on. I want to buy that home. And he laughed at me, and if you know Chris, you know the language that he's using. He said, dude, I'm your boss. You don't make enough money to buy my home. Yeah. I said, okay, whatever, okay? But when the time comes, I need to be able to buy the home. Long story short, 2006, I get a call from the track coach at Rice University. Says, hey, tell me about this Chris Del Conte guy. And I said, well, what do you need to know? He says, I think he's going to be our next AD. I'm like, oh, yeah. I said, yeah. That guy in the state of Texas, you guys are going to be in great shape. Is he on his interview now? Yes. All right. So I called Chris up. I said, hey, big guy, I'm really excited for you. Congratulations on your new position. And he says, yeah, whatever, you just want to buy my home. So, yeah, absolutely right. He said, I'm going to make you a deal. Yeah. Okay? You're going to make $100,000. I'm going to get a great deal, but it can't go to the market. Yeah. He goes, what are you, like mafia or something? He goes, no. He said, just trust me on this one. Yeah. I'm out of town. I'll be back in 5 days. I'll have the paperwork drawn up, and I want to buy that home. I've been dreaming about this home. Yeah. He said, hey, if you can do that, by the time you get back, we have a deal. Got back. He said, how did you do that? I said, well, Chris, because first and foremost, you know what I make at Arizona. You know you don't know me. Yeah. You have no concept of what it is, who I am as a person. Yeah. Okay. So do we have a deal or do we not have a deal? Of course we have a deal. I'm gonna make $100,000. We have a deal. Yeah. So, all right, we're good. So bought the home. Within a year, there was a beautiful block A on the fence outside. Yeah. And came out one day. I'm walking across the street from my old office, 248 steps from my front door to my office door. Okay? Wow. I come back. I said, something looks different about the home. I looked like, oh my God, the A is gone. Somebody came and like had rivet cutters and took the A off the fence.
Oh wow.
Oh man.
Yeah, and so long story short, I said, well, I have to replace it, but I'm not going to replace with the block A because I'm a cactus logo guy. Yeah. So one of my ex-athletes, he does welding and does a lot of ranch type work and says, hey coach, I'm gonna make you what you want. So if you look on the fence now, there's this beautiful rustic cactus logo that says track and field underneath it. And so awesome. Yeah, this home is. If you are not a collegiate fan, whether it's academically, whether it's athletically, whether it's just socially, this is not the home for you. The band literally practices right across the street. When I say across the street, I mean it's you walk 4 lanes across and the band is playing. Yeah, it's band day to day, folks.
Yeah, band day to day, right? Yeah, exactly. And I thought we get a lot of band over where we live in Catalina Foothills because that band seems like they're always playing over there.
They're pretty good too.
Well, Fred, we appreciate you having us out here. We'll have you back on a little bit later in the show as well. Talk some football with you here, and it's going to be a fun afternoon as the Wildcats get set to take on the Colorado Buffaloes.
Absolutely, I appreciate you. Thank you all.
Thanks for having us, Coach.
That is our initial peek into today's game between the Wildcats and the Colorado Buffaloes.
That's our first look at the game. Brought to you by the
Quick
Window
rundown
Depot.
here.
The Window Depot. Yeah. Lowest prices and biggest inventory. Shop thewindow.depot.com. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Doing things the right way.
All right, we'll dive into what's going on with the Arizona Wildcats offense coming up in our next segment. Also get you a defensive scouting report brought to you by Rocky & K Master Plan Community. DK with BB. My questions this week to the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats, who will be that pest from the Buffaloes that gets underneath the Wildcats' skin today, your essential pest control pest of the game. Can we beat the book today? Arizona 4.5-point favorite. Over-under is 52.5 on the game today. In the huddle with
Ray Wells, first-team All-Pac-10 linebacker. We're going to catch up with Ray. We're going to talk a little bit about linebacker play and see what he's doing now.
Captain's Corner. Who's on the corner?
Got a little something a little different for you guys. Gonna keep it a little secret for now, but definitely it's gonna be something cool.
All right, we will wait to find out what secret Kelvin is keeping from us today. It is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. We're coming to you live from the Fred Harvey Estate here right by campus, Little Mexico. We'll have him explain exactly why he calls it Little Mexico coming up a little bit later. Lots of Big 12 games and college games already in progress. We'll always update you on those as well coming up a little bit later in your Goldberg and Osborne in the Injury Lawyers scoreboard. J.W. Madden's back in the studio. We've got associate producer Kathleen Kelly out here helping us out as well. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Our Window Depot coverage of Arizona football is just getting started. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 1 of the pregame show is brought to you by Advantage Air and Mechanical, Cactus Auto Company, Casino del Sol, Done Right Services, Drain Masters, First Chiropractic, Idaho Central Credit Union, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, Royal GMC, Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, The Window Depot, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No, they use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope, only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
Advantage Air Mechanical, the team you can trust. Call 792-9400.
When it comes to the comfort and indoor air quality of your home and office, Advantage Air Mechanical has you covered. Breathing healthy air and having reliable air conditioning is important. If you or someone you know is in need of air conditioning services or a new system installation, we are here to help. Advantage Air Mechanical, 792-9400. AZROC 214570.
We are the rush, the pulse, the thrill you didn't see coming. Welcome to Club Soul at Casino del Sol, where Tucson's best just got better. Join Club Soul today and get $20 free play. That's right, your first play is on us. Play, earn, and unlock exclusive rewards that take your experience to the next level. More thrills, more perks, more of what makes Casino del Sol unforgettable. We are Club Soul, only at Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Enterprise of the Bosco Yaqui Tribe.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic is pleased to announce that Access Health Plans now cover chiropractic care. A referral by your PCP is required. For more information, go to firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care. A proud U of A radio sponsor.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
Looking for quality windows without the wait? Come to the Window Depot. We carry a huge selection of Milgard windows, in stock now and ready for pickup. Need something custom? No problem. From new construction to full home replacement, we'll help you order the perfect Milgard windows built to fit your space, style, and budget. Whether you're a homeowner or contractor, the Window Depot makes it easy to get the windows you need fast. Visit thewindowdepot.com to find a location near you and see why we're your Milgard window experts.
Every day is a balancing act, with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put member success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rockin' K is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 18 model homes by top-tier builders offering move-in ready homes and special incentives. LiveRockingK.com. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
JT Auto, where their customers are family. Stop by their newest East Side location, conveniently located at 6947 East 22nd, just west of Cole. Open Monday through Friday. JT Auto is a full-service auto shop with satisfaction guarantee, offering you the best in tires and wheels, auto repair, oil changes, computer diagnostics, suspension and brake service, and heating and AC. Bring your car to JT Auto, where their customers are family. 372-7704. That's 372-7704. Or JTAutoAZ.com.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do. We are the home of your Arizona Wildcats. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. Our Window Depot coverage of UA football continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now back to your hosts, David Kelly, the tight end Glenn Howell, and the captain, Kelvin Eafon.
Trips right, two left, short side of the field. Fafita, short drop, steps up, fires over the middle, and it's caught. Breaking away. Barmore inside the 25, and a first down, Arizona. Another huge catch for Cam Barmore.
Here's the offensive scouting report for today's game.
Fafita, gun, takes the snap, firing, corner of the end zone. Cop breaks away at the 5. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona.
The offensive scouting report is brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet.
And we are back out here at the Fred Harvey Estate. It is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day, getting you set for the Wildcats and the Colorado Buffaloes. We've got some of our invited guests starting to arrive here. Glenn, we heard that highlight at the top. Cameron Barmore stepping up at your favorite position, the tight end position, over the course of the last few weeks. Had a big 4-catch game against the Houston Cougars, including that 19-yard reception that helped lead that final drive that allowed the Wildcats to tie the game at 28-28 in the fourth quarter. Cameron Barmore comes from a town called Panama, New York. Have you ever been to Panama, New York? Let's hear a little bit about Panama, New York.
Panama has more cows than it does people. There's about, I think the population is 450 people. It's very small.
More cows than people in Panama, New York.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. This kid has come a long way, because I tell you, when I saw him in training camp, wasn't thinking that he was going to be able to block in the Big 12. He has come a long way, and Coach Miller has given him credit for developing these tight ends.
Yeah.
Getting these tight ends to be ready to play Big 12 football. It's really a great progression that we have seen in Barmore. I think he might be making some money right now.
Well, and again, these are when we talk about the portal, these are decisions that these young men are making. This is a guy who was a wide receiver, and now he is playing tight end here at the University of Arizona. Let's hear from Cameron just on that conversion to that position from what he was doing at his first school, which was Mercyhurst.
I had lots of conversations, because ultimately the end goal for everybody, I would think, playing college football is playing the NFL, and I don't think I was good enough receiver to do that, and tight end would be the most ideal spot. So going from receiver to tight end was probably the physicality of in the box. My old school, I was just really never asked to do that, and so coming here and going against Trey Smith every day, that's quite the task. So that was probably the biggest thing.
Cameron, you mentioned the physicality part of learning to play the tight end position, and Seth a couple weeks ago had said he wasn't sure early on in the spring if you were going to be able to grasp that. How did you get to the point where you were able to grasp that and now are an integral part in the run game?
Like I said, at first it was just different, and then really embracing it. Some of our other tight ends that do embrace it, Caden Luke and Tyler Mustang, I've had lots of talks with them, and you have to seek the contact rather than let it come to you. So a lot of talks with them, and then just built-in reps have helped with that.
When you look back at the seal block that sparked Kedrick in the last home game, what do you see when you look at how you were able to make that play there and to spring that touchdown?
A lot of it, props to Coach Miller, because He's a real big stickler on like our details, and then just when I look at that play, I see the details that he enforces every single day.
Yeah, that block was great. I mean, you see him like he almost scooped him up. He scooped him up, threw his hips through, pushed him all the way down the line of scrimmage. And, yeah, that's good advice to get it from Caden Luke, who just loves to just knock the crap out of you, okay? And same with Tyler. Tyler was a linebacker, and they both have very physical aspects about them, and that's what you need. You need to be, and as a tight end, you have to be able to catch. You got to look at this guy. He's only 240 right now. He's going to gain some weight. He's 6'6".
Right.
So he's going to gain some weight. You put a little weight on him, and he's got a chance, because he can catch the ball. I love the way he runs the routes. He's athletic. And then if he puts that blocking component in there, he's going to be a very valuable tight end. We're going to really use him this year.
This is maybe the one thing that, again, I point back to the one thing that maybe I don't like about this whole transfer portal is, we saw him hit that block to spring Kedrick, and, I'm thinking, man, who's this kid that just made this block, Cameron Barmore? Now 2 weeks later, he's making big catches in a final drive, and then you look up and it's like we only got like 5 games left with him.
Yeah.
Just now we're starting to get to know this kid and know all about him. But 5 more games is all we get with this kid. That's the one thing I can't count the number of times this season that I've said to myself, man, who is this kid? Oh, we only got him for 1 season.
And that's what you got to give Coach Miller some credit there, man. He's developed that kid ever since he got in here, because I believe they didn't think that he was going to make it.
Yeah,
they didn't think he was going.
They didn't think that.
They didn't think that he was going to make it because he wasn't physical enough.
Right.
Something had to turn on in his mind that in order for him to play at University of Arizona, he's going to have to get physical.
And I'll say something about the guys only stand for 1 year, and I think you guys have heard me say this before. This guy's be here for 10 years and don't do nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
If he give me 1 year and he play well, that's my Wildcat.
Absolutely.
What's a Wildcat?
Absolutely.
Always a Wildcat. I just need 1 year out of him. If I get 4, that's great, but there's some guys that hung around.
There's a guy that played 1 game at the University of Arizona who might be the most popular player right now.
And he's starting for the Commanders.
See what I'm saying? I'm saying? Like, so I can't, and we claim him, boy.
Yeah, we do.
They like, man,
he's a Wildcat.
He played 1 game.
Yeah.
But
1 game.
Hey, that's what I'm saying right there. So hey, if you give me a whole season, I appreciate you even more.
Exactly.
Let's hear more from Seth Dagey on the evolution of Cameron Barmore.
That dude has made an unbelievable leap from when you're talking about the end of spring until now. The one thing that he lacked up until like probably game 3, as we really started showing it, was the physicality part. And now you turn on the tape and you're like, whoa, who's that? Like, I don't know if y'all remember this, but we were trying to convert a first down late in the game against Oklahoma State, and we throw a little screen to him on the edge, and instead of running out of bounds, he lowers his shoulders and tries to run through somebody. Well, you didn't see that until now.
Yeah, I mean, that's that physicalness starting to develop for that young man, Cameron Barmore. So looking forward to it. And again, it's a position where we talk about next man up. You lose Tyler Powell, first play of the season. You lose Kean Burnett, who decides he's going to redshirt and leave the team. And so you need that next man, and it's been Cameron Barmore, and he's starting to make himself a presence in this offense. Another weapon for Noah Fafita to be able to go 24 to 26.
Yeah, and that's a nice weapon at 6'6". You know, 6'6". You get cover a linebacker. I take the 6'6" guy.
Absolutely, absolutely. All right, that's our first look at the offense for your Arizona Wildcats ahead of today's game against Colorado.
That's the Wildcats Offensive Scouting Report. The Offensive Scouting Report is brought to you by O'Reilly Chevrolet. Get more with O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Hey, man. It's me, your furnace, man. Hey, can I get a light here, man? I know we live in Arizona, so I understand I'm not, like as cool as your air conditioner. But I still need a tune-up at least once a year, man. So get the best in town, man. Goodfellas AC, bro. Hey, anybody smell that, man? I swear it wasn't me. Okay, it was me.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
My family was having significant challenges, so I dropped out of high school. I returned to school as a computer science major to support my family. And Earn to Learn and Hughes Federal Credit Union helped me get back on the right track, teaching me to be responsible with my money and planning for my future. Learning about the credit union difference gave me the life goal to never bank anywhere else.
Find out how Hughes and Earn to Learn join forces to support student success at hughesfcu.org/earn-to-learn. Insured by NCUA. Certain restrictions apply.
We are the rush, the pulse, the thrill you didn't see coming. Welcome to Club Soul at Casino del Sol, where Tucson's best just got better. Join Club Soul today and get $20 free play. That's right, your first play is on us. Play, earn, and unlock exclusive rewards that take your experience to the next level. More thrills, more perks, more of what makes Casino del Sol unforgettable. We are Club Soul, only at Casino del Sol and Casino of the Sun. Enterprise of the Bosco Yaqui Tribe.
At the Window Depot, builders and contractors don't wait weeks. You get what you need today. Factory direct windows, doors, cabinets, countertops, it's all in stock and ready to go at wholesale prices. Whether you're tackling a remodel or a multifamily project, we've got job site quantities and no membership required. Our windows are proudly manufactured and assembled in Arizona with small business service and big box selection. Order online at thewindowdepot.com or visit a location near you. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Hi, this is Peter Costa, former governor of the New York Stock Exchange and proud member of the Advisory Business Council with Meridian Wealth Management. One thing I've learned over 40 years on the floor is the value of a trusting relationship with your financial advisor. After all, everyone is a genius when the markets are going up, but when they drop, that's when the guidance of a professional is most important. For more information about Meridian, call 719-1433 or visit online at meridianwealthllc.com.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
From the shadows of your bathroom comes a villain with 2 pinchers, 1 stinger, and 0 respect for your home.
Scorpions can make your home feel like a scary movie. At Blue Sky Pest Control, we rewrite the script. We keep scorpions out of your home so your story stays drama-free. Call Blue Sky Pest Control today. Hello, Blue Sky. Goodbye, scorpions.
Broadway in Tucson presents the 20th
About
anniversary
30 seconds.
season. Tucson premieres, including Disney's Beauty and the Beast, Hell's Kitchen, Moulin Rouge, The Wiz, Back to the Future, Dr. Seuss's How the Grinch Stole Christmas, and more. Secure your signature season tickets today and get the best seats at the lowest prices. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your 2025-2026 season tickets today.
Our Window Depot coverage of UA football continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now back to your hosts, David Kelly, the tight end Glenn Howell, and the captain, Kelvin Eafon. Let's go in the huddle with Arizona letterman Glenn Howell. In the Huddle with Howell is brought to you by Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates. Kaiser, with over 30 years of serving Southern Arizona.
Welcome into this week's edition of the In the Huddle with Howell, presented by Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates. I'm U of A tight end Glenn Howell, class of 1985. Our guest today is All Pac-10, first team All Pac-10 linebacker from the class of 2003, Raymond Wells. Ray, what's going on?
Hey, Glenn, how's it going?
Pretty good. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great.
Thanks for coming on. We appreciate you coming on. Ray, what are you doing now? What's going on in your life?
You know what? I'm here in Tucson. I'm coaching high school football at South Point, and I'm still working with nonprofits in the area.
That's awesome. That's awesome. How you like coaching?
You know what? It's just something I've done. I think this was my 25th year as a coach, whether it be for football or track and field. So it's my way to always give back to not only the community, but to basically pay it forward for all the coaches that did it for me when I was growing up.
We got some Wildcat prospects over there, or what? Are you bringing them in?
For recruiting violation purposes, I would just say we got some guys.
Yeah. All right. So, Ray, man, you came here, and I was just looking at your bio. You were born in Oakland, California?
Yeah, born in Oakland, California. The Raiders were in L.A.
Okay.
The Raiders were in L.A., so I actually I'm a 49ers fan.
Ray,
but I was raised in San Diego. So
Ray,
born in the Bay, raised in Southern Cal.
I'm so sorry for you, man, that you like the 49ers, man. That's where I'm from, Oakland, so I've been a Raider
you got
fan
5
forever.
championships.
Yeah, we have 4. We have 3. I think we have 3 world championships.
That's 3.
Yep, we have 3. So when you moved to L.A. Did you guys
San Diego.
San Diego. And then how did you get to the University of Arizona?
You know what? I went to junior college in San Diego, and by happenstance, Rob Ianello, who was the receivers coach and recruiting coordinator for Arizona at the time, was recruiting another kid and heard some other recruiters talk about me. He left the practice he was at, zipped over to watch me in practice, and the next day he sat down with me and talked about being a Wildcat. Took my recruiting visit in December of '99 and just absolutely fell in love with Tucson and the University of Arizona. And at that time, I was a Dick Tomey fan. I loved Desert Storm growing up in Southern California, which is Pac-12 or Pac-10 country at the time. Everyone knew what Arizona was all about, just hard work, grit, toughness. And that style of football was really appealing to me.
And what was there any guys that you on your recruiting trip that made you think that this is the place I want to be? Was there any guys that became your teammates?
You know what? They weren't guys that were my teammates, but they were just guys that I looked up to at the time. I had a chance to meet Marcus Bell and Deshaun Polk. They were kind of, those were the guys, the linebackers that were here at the time. And then on my recruiting visit, actually, Joe Tafoya and Antonio Pierce were guys that were here that were going to be on the team and be potential teammates. And I really did have a vibe with those guys. Antonio was actually a great resource for me. Once I signed on, ended up being his backup my first year here. And then, eventually became a running mate with Lance Briggs. So it worked out perfect. Just the environment and everything about it here, especially with those guys, there was a history. Once I got recruited, I learned more about the history of the linebackers at U of A, whether that be Ricky and Lamont Hundley, Byron Evans. So you can just kind of go down the list. There was a big lineage of linebackers at U of A. So I was like, you know what? This actually might be the best place for me.
Ray Wells is our guest in the huddle with Howell, brought to you by Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates. Kaiser, serving over 25 years of serving Arizona. So Ray, you really describe what your I just remember my first day at U of A when I first got here. My day was a day of screaming. I had Coach Rogerman yelling at me, telling me that he thought I was, you think you're a big-time dude because you're a JC guy. Now you're in there. Now you're in here with all the stars. He was yelling at me, and I'm like, "What? I didn't do anything." That was my first day I was stretching out in the line. And Coach Rogie, if you ever heard, he's a famous coach here. He was the linebacker coach for Ricky and all those linebackers. And he was just intense, in my face. He went to the next JC guy, did the same thing. We all got. So what was your first day like at the U of A when you got here?
You know what? It was like drinking through a fire hose. I can remember going down to Camp Cochise, So it was the first day I'd ever been away from camp, away to go away for a camp. So we get down to Cochise, and, if you know Dick Tomey, that was kind of like his world, right? We're going to, focus on just the team. So it was football and team building. But my first practice, Antonio didn't practice with us the first couple of days. So I was taking reps with the 1s, the 2s, and the 3s. And it was just, hey, I know you've only had 2 days to learn this, but we're going to throw you into the fire and see how much you can do. And my head's spinning. I got coaches screaming. People are saying stuff. Everything the guy next to me saying makes no sense because I don't understand all the vernacular for the defense. And all I could think of was, you know what, just go try and get the football. At the end of the day, it's still football. Tackle the guy with the ball, and we'll figure the rest of it out later. And I remember after that first practice just being exhausted. And then the next day we were going to have a 3-a-day, which I had never had in my life before. I remember growing up, I'm still old enough that we had Hell Week where you had 2-a-days. And I grew up, East County, San Diego was pretty hot and dry. So it's like 90 degrees and hot for 2-a-days. And here we're going to have a 3-a-day. And I'm like, what is that like?
Yeah. Man, if they had that now, if they had that now, Ray,
they wouldn't have any players.
They wouldn't have no players. And
no.
Be lawsuits everywhere,
these guys
man.
would melt.
Soft.
We'd go out for 90 minutes, and it was like the fastest, hardest practice for 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Go in the locker room, get off your feet, drink some Gatorade, eat a popsicle for 30 minutes, and then go back out for another 90, take a lunch break, have some meetings, and then hit it again at night. And I'm like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah. Exactly. You bet there'd be lawsuits going on right now if they had that here. Because they have one practice a day now. It's just unbelievable. And then the full line that we used to run full line all the time. It was like maybe, we're talking about 5-6 periods of full line. And, that was always the advantage of you guys, the defense, because you guys knew we're running the ball, and here we come. So now all you had to do is just run up. There wasn't no play action or anything, so that was really physical.
Ray, Kelvin Eafon here, man. I want to ask you, who did you have to go against in the circle drill?
Oh, man. I can tell you, and I don't know exactly what drill you're talking about. Brandon Malu-Maliuna.
Yeah. Wow. Hey, because I know any linebackers
so
and tight ends and fullbacks,
tight ends,
you got a problem. You're going to get in the circle drill.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And it was one of those where I'm like, here I am, an undersized linebacker at 215 pounds. My junior college wasn't big on the weight room, so I'm coming in, and this dude, Brandon, lines up in front of me, and he's just grinning. And I'm like, okay. Here Brandon's like 275, 280. It's like it's a guard playing tight end, cat quick, and as strong as a lineman, as quick as a linebacker receiver. And it's like, okay, this ain't fun.
Yeah, I used to go against the show.
You know what? But that was my daily challenge, man. And it was almost like Brandon would see me and be like, "Oh, hey, move up or move back in line." And to this day, though, that's my guy, and I appreciate him wanting to challenge me to make me better.
That's awesome. Ray Wells is our guest in the huddle with Howell, brought to you by Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates. Kaiser, serving Arizona for over 25 years. Dave Kelly's got a question for you, Ray.
Glad to have you on the show. Hey, I know that obviously you've worked in recent years within the athletic department with the collectives and the NIL piece, and now that's even evolved past that into the revenue share. Just what are your thoughts on the way all of that has transpired in the last 3 to 4 years for the student athletes, and how that's going to work for a lot of universities like Arizona moving forward now with the revenue share, and how they're going to need to operate to be able to function and be able to still be able to get the student athletes that you want to get to be competitive?
You know what? I think the plan all along was that NIL was going to be something that moved from external to internal. And I think that was always, it's kind of following that timeline, but no one knew what the model was going to be. Every year NIL was kind of changing from its inception to year 2, year 3. There was kind of tweaks and changes. The revenue share, I think, was something that was always out there, but it was how was it going to be implemented? where there's going to be, where athletes going to become employees of the university and state system and everything that went with that. And I think that was too complicated. But the revenue share piece where you have, major sports leagues that have a percentage, like the NBA is a prime example, right? The players get, I think, 49% of the revenue that's split up amongst them. So there were models in place to be able to implement this for the college student athletes. I think it's a great thing because the student athletes are going to now there's going to be value to be a student athlete. And that leaves universities with an obligation to now treat student athletes more on equal footing, right? I think before there was this notion, they're kids, you got a scholarship, you should be happy with that. Now, no, these are equal partners. So making sure that, the facilities, whether that be the training, of those things have to be on par because they have to produce, and you need to make sure these student athletes produce. So you're going to give them a first-class experience from an athletic standpoint. Where I hope that there are more safeguards and rails put in is that giving an 18, 19, 20-year-old $100,000 or whatnot is that how are you going to make sure there are mechanisms in place to keep these young people safe? Because there's a lot of predators out there. And I think that's the piece that we have to make sure gets put in place. And by predators, I mean there are agents and certain these sports marketing places that want to take advantage of student athletes because you don't know what you don't know. And I hope that that's one of those things that also gets put in place, that there are definitely safeguards to make sure that these young people can enjoy their college experience, they can receive some type of compensation with their revenue share, and that it's a great experience for everyone that's involved.
Ray Wells is our guest in the Huddle with Howell, brought to you by Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates. Kaiser, serving over Arizona for over 25 years. So Ray, man, you played at University of Arizona. You make all Pac-10. It was Pac-10 then, right? It was all Pac-10. It wasn't no Pac-12, but all Pac-10. And then you go on to the next level. So you get with the Tennessee Titans. Was that your first team that you were with? Tennessee Titans.
Actually,
go ahead.
I signed as a rookie free agent with the 49ers.
Okay, wow.
And what was the interesting thing was, you sign as a free agent, you kind of get to pick where you want to go. I remember showing up to my first training camp. There were 5 coaches on the 49er staff my rookie year that tried to recruit me to come to their school.
Wow. That's awesome. That's
so
good,
I had a familiarity with some of the coaches. Yeah, it was. And that's part of the reason why I picked them. But I remember going in and luckily our defensive coordinator the year before at Arizona, and one of our graduate assistants ended up becoming a special teams coach. And so that was Larry McDuff. He became the special teams coordinator for the 49ers. And he was able to give me some insight. Hey, do this, do this, do this. Don't do this, don't do that. So I got to go into my first training camp as a rookie free agent and understood what was going to be put in front of me, what challenges were going to be there for me as a rookie free agent, and kind of how to navigate those things.
Man, that's a big advantage, man. Because I remember when I went to the LA Raiders, I went in there as a tight end, and then they switched me. Well, after we stretched, they said, "You're going with the defensive ends." And I said, "What?" Wow. I said, "What?" I said, Ron Wolf. He came up to me. He goes, "Glenn, I think you played really physical at Arizona. We really think you could be a great defensive end." And I was like, "Man, I ain't played defensive end since high school, And they switched me, so that's a great advantage that you had, man. I had a total different experience of doing that when I was with the LA Raiders. How was it being in a how they had the mirrors in there and what you're supposed to wear and everything and all the stuff with the thing in the NFL locker rooms? How was it when you saw yourself in a 49er uniform?
Yeah, man, I grew up a Niners fan, so I can remember, the first day I walked in and the trophy cases there with all the Lombardi trophies and the rings. And I'm not gonna lie, I was a little nervous and I was a little awestruck, because I'm seeing guys in the locker room that the year before I'm rooting for, as a fan, and I kept my head down. My idea was to keep my head down and just grind. But the first preseason game that I ever played, we played at Kansas City, and I just remember the crowd going out for warm-ups, and at some point everything went blank, and I just saw lights, and I was like, man, this is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah.
I graded out. I had a sack in that game, and I graded out 95%. So
that's awesome.
That let me know right then and there that I belonged, and from that point forward, it was just full go.
Yeah, Ray, you played it, 2000. We're working at like almost 20 years now. 20 years. It's amazing that you only played 20 years ago. But looking at the linebackers today, what kind of skills do you think that a linebacker has compared to when you played as to where the kids are playing now? What kind of skills do you think they need to have in 2025?
It's great. That's interesting because I feel like when I played, there was a start of a transition from the big 6'4", 250-pound linebacker that was straight smash mouth to guys that could cover that were maybe a little bit smaller, a little bit faster. And like you look at myself, Lance Briggs, Antonio Pierce, we kind of fit that mold. We were 235, 240 pounds, 4'5", 4'6" guys, but we could play the run and cover. And I think that's what the game has transitioned to now with all the RPOs and spread offenses, is that you see more guys that are in that 240 range that are fast, maybe a guy that was a safety that's going to add a little bit of weight that can still cover. And that's what the game has turned into. Linebackers have to be able to play in space.
Yeah.
And you look at some of the guys we've had at Arizona the last couple of years, the guys we have this year, you look at Jacob Manu in the last couple of years, very skilled cover guys, quick guys, super strong but fast, and super smart because you still have to be the quarterback of the defense to kind of understand what's going on.
So you see our guys that we're playing, that are playing now. What do you think of our linebacker play now?
They're a great group of guys. Playing in a 3-3 system, 3-3-5 system as a linebacker, you got to be able to read, take on linemen, and like I said, these guys are very versatile. They're not the biggest guys in the world, but they're not super small, but they're super physical, super smart, and they play well in space. And I think with our new system coming in, with a change in system this year from what we've had years past, you see the versatility that our linebackers have now. And I actually enjoy watching us play defense because we're more of an attack style defense than, under the previous coaching staff, I think we're more read and react.
Yeah, we're definitely attacking the line of scrimmage. Ray, I really appreciate you coming on today. Our thanks to Wildcat alumni Ray Wells for joining me on In the Huddle with Hal. Ray, we really appreciate you coming on and giving us your insight. And you got to get that win today against Colorado. And as always, bear down, brother.
Bear down, go Cats. Thanks, guys, for having me on.
Bear down.
That's In the Huddle with Howell. In the Huddle with Glenn Howell is brought to you by Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates. Kaiser, with over 30 years of serving Southern Arizona. Our Window Depot coverage of Arizona football is just getting started. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 1 of the pregame show is brought to you by Advantage Air and Mechanical, Cactus Auto Company, Casino del Sol, Done Right Services, Drain Masters, First Chiropractic, Idaho Central Credit Union, Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, Picture Rocks, Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, Royal GMC, Buick and Cadillac, Royal Kia, Royal Jaguar Land Rover, The Window Depot, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Well, it's that time of year. You dress the kids up for the holiday parties, and they hate it. You dress everybody up for the annual holiday card picture, and, well, everybody hates that. You even dress the turkey, and we're pretty sure he's not happy about that. This year, dress up your yard in time for the holidays. Call Dorado Rockin' Materials, and we promise there will be no complaints. Make your yard beautiful and worry-free with their personal service and convenient delivery times. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Spooky noises coming from your air conditioning system? Then treat yourself to the Right Way $59 Super Tune-Up and shake off the cobwebs from your AC. It's a 42-point inspection designed to maximize your AC unit's efficiency and lifespan with the most comprehensive tune-up in the industry. We'll even remove any built-up dirt, grime, and dust, and do a free carbon monoxide test. Just call Right Way, Southern Arizona's premier heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical company today at 520-640-HOME. Right Way's $59 Super Tune-Up, a scary good deal.
From offices and warehouses to retail spaces and restaurants, the right lighting transforms your environment. At Arizona Commercial Lighting, we've been proudly locally owned and operated for nearly 40 years. Our extensive inventory of in-stock lighting solutions is designed to meet both commercial and residential needs, with quality, variety, and value you won't find anywhere else. Visit us at 1436 East 17th Street or explore our offerings online at azcommerciallighting.com. Be sure to ask about available TEP rebates. Arizona Commercial Lighting, powering business through precision lighting.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rockin' K. Nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills, enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. 6 model homes are now open to tour at Del Webb at Rockin' K. Here, life is about more than just beautiful homes. It's about the experiences waiting outside your front door at this new 55-plus active adult neighborhood. LiveRockingK.com. Designed by nature. Proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Hi guys, I'm back. What's new?
Tucson Appliance Scratch and Dent Studio.
All the Scratch and Dent merchandise has its own new studio.
There were so many Scratch and Dent discounted items. Now they have a place of their own.
I love it. A whole Scratch and Dent studio right next to Tucson Appliance. They don't look like Scratch and Dent,
but it shows in the low prices.
Tucson Appliance Scratch and Dent Studio. Proud local supporters of the Southern Arizona Heartball. Only at Tucson Appliance, where you are a priority.
It's your time to shine. This is Desert Diamond Casino, the spot with Arizona's only hometown sportsbook, the hottest slots and tables, and off-the-charts energy you won't find anywhere else. Here, there's always a fun-filled, action-packed, downright unforgettable night right around the corner. So let your hair down, turn the sparkle all the way up. It's time to live the diamond life. Desert Diamond Casino.
An enterprise of the Thona Ogden Nation.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Ready to score a new vehicle? Whether you are looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you want. A quality vehicle at a great price and to be treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback
15
guarantee,
seconds.
and you work with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $589 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or royalkia.com.
Wildcats Nation, are you ready?
Fafita, gun, takes the snap, firing, corner of the end zone. Cop, touchdown, Arizona.
That's a strike by Noah Fafita.
Short drop, looking right. Here comes the pressure. They sack him, get him to the ground. Oh, perfect timing for the Wildcats. Kick is up and it's blocked. Wildcats block it and they pick it up. And I don't think anybody's going to catch him. And it's picked off. Trayton Stukes throws to the back of the end zone. It's caught. Samuelson, touchdown, Arizona.
Bear down, Cats. Let's go. Our Window Depot coverage of UA football continues with Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. The pregame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. We are counting down to kickoff for Arizona football. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
So big play here. Third down, just over a yard to go. Pistol set. Connors behind Wigman. Wigman will hand off to Connors, and he's hit and stopped. He might have lost some yardage on the play. It's going to be 4th down decision here for Willie Fritz.
That's a great job, Arizona, getting penetration there at time and blowing that play up in the backfield.
And blowing that.
Take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Doing things the right way.
All right, so hour number 2 of our show here, coming to you live from the Fred Harvey estate. We're going to talk a little bit about the Arizona Wildcats defense. They need a big game on the road tonight. They have been gutted by the quarterback power for the last 2 weeks. Can they stop that today in Boulder? DK with BB, my questions every week to the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats, Brent Brennan, brought to you by Hughes Federal Credit Union. We'll check the scoreboard, and again, the Big 12 never ceases to amaze on the Goldberg and Osborne, the Injury Lawyers scoreboard. Fellas, the team in last place in the league, the West Virginia Mountaineers, are about to beat the one of the teams that's tied for second at 4-1. The red-hot Houston Cougars are about to go down today at home.
Rich Rod just doing his thing, running the ball. He got 246 on the ground.
248 yards rushing
Yep.
For that team. We're going to go in the captain's corner here, and we've got some surprise guests. A great story here locally. Do we want to preview it now? You want to preview it now?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we have a story where it's basically Eric reached out on the Eric Freeze reached out on the internet.
Oh, Eric, yes, he follows me. I know Eric.
Yes.
Okay.
He reached out on the internet.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, his house burnt down. A segment of his house burnt down, and he lost some Arizona Wildcat gear. And one of the things he lost was a Kelvin Eafon jersey. So, had a great guy, Levi Conan, that came and basically him and some of his buddies, and he'll tell you more about that. Basically got a jersey for him. Got Paul Cunningham here as well.
Councilman.
Yeah, Councilman.
City Councilman Paul Cunningham.
Yes, over here as well. So, yeah, man, and I just, just personally, I just really appreciate anybody caring anything about, a guy from so far long ago.
Yeah, I was going to say,
there
how many years, bro?
I ain't gonna say that.
Like, exactly.
But, I'm just really, I know he a real one when I seen that shirt when he came in.
Yeah.
That shirt right there is
old
what we wore.
That's an old school shirt right there.
We wore those at Camp Coach East.
Yeah.
Those were the shirts we wore at Camp Coach East, man. So when I seen that, I say he day one.
Good to finally put a face with Eric Freeze. He follows us on all of our social media platforms and responds to a lot of the things that we put out there. So great to finally get a chance to meet Eric for sure. Also, we've got can we beat the book today? The Wildcats are a 4.5-point favorite on the road at Colorado. You're over under 52.5 points. We'll get into that as well. Keys to the Game brought to you by Royal Automotive. We'll wrap up the show coming up in a little under 2 hours now. All right, you heard at the top the highlight by Deshaun McKnight. Let's dive into the defense for your Arizona Wildcats.
Let's look at the Wildcats' defensive scouting report for today's game.
Short drop, looking right. Here comes the pressure. They sack him. Oh, perfect timing for the Wildcats. They needed that.
Today's defensive scouting report is brought to you by Rocking K. Rocking K, Tucson's premier master planned community. This is Arizona football on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Deshaun McKnight, another one of the transfers for your Arizona Wildcats. He comes over from University of Tennessee at Martin. Had that tackle for loss. Has started the last 5 games for the Arizona Wildcats at that defensive tackle position. 18 tackles, 8 tackles for loss. He's the leader on the squad right now in tackles for loss this season. We've talked about that being a category in which the Wildcats have been very strong in all season long. And for Deshaun McKnight, again, this is a Colorado team that they're facing today that got their butts whooped at Utah, but that is not anything that Deshaun McKnight and his Wildcat teammates are thinking about coming into today.
For us, I mean, it's us trying to get a dub every week. It don't matter who we play, who we go up against. You know what I'm saying? We're looking to do the same thing every week, which is win. So for us, I feel like, again, it's not us doing anything fancy, but again, just us relying on our technique fundamentals, executing the call that we're given, and just like, again, just falling back on just red line, man. Us just getting to the ball, running to the ball. Like I said, all 11 doing their job and just being physical.
Deshaun, what is your specific role in the quarterback run game when the quarterback is on the run? What is your role there? Do you have a role there? And if you do, what have you been working on to try to improve your aspect of that?
Well, my role is just to make a play, for one, but also to, like you said, to just to also play within the system. And for me, it's not really just doing nothing fancy. Again, just playing within my technique fundamental, just, again, relying on my training. And, yeah, just being me playing ball. So.
And I know you've maybe been dealing with a little bit of an oblique situation. How has that affected your ability to do your job out there?
Man, when you got a DC like Coach G, man, that don't matter, man. Because at the end of the day, like, excuse my language, but for us, it's just like, man, you know what I'm saying, you're gonna be banged up, you're gonna be bruised up, but you know what I'm saying, you gotta be at bad effort, man, to play in a defense like this. So having somebody like that in my head 24/7, constantly chirping, telling me to get on the field and stop being soft, man, it don't even just, you know what I'm saying, sit in my mind. So for me, I'm good, man. I'm great. I'm amazing.
Yeah, Glenn, you use another term. He used the term bad MFers. You need to be a bad MFer down there to get things done. And you've always talked about those are the kind of guys you need on the line.
You need a bad mofo. I call that too. We could go G on it. You need a bad mofo.
Bad mofo.
Yeah, so that's something you need. You need somebody that's physical, that's actually is athletic. They can be physically athletic. Look at Aaron Donald. He's very physical, but he's athletic. He can move. He can slide by you. All those things are happening. But I really like what he said. He's got to stay within the system. Because if a guy that you just let go and he goes and does it, he messes it up for the guy next to him and the guy behind him. So then that's where the hole comes.
Gap responsibility.
And, they say they don't do gap responsibility, but they're doing, doing
somebody
doing something, If you got left shade, all that kinds of things. So you got to really understand that you got to be – it's hard for a good player to be just, do it within the system. It's very rare that you have a guy like a Lawrence Taylor. You just put him out and say, you do whatever you want, man. Right. You just go ahead and do what you want to do. So you got to be able to do that, and then your time will come if you're patient.
Let's hear from the defensive coordinator, the DC, Coach G, as he called him there. Danny Gonzalez talking a little bit about the recruiting of Deshaun McKnight and what they love about him down on that defensive line.
Deshaun McKnight was a 4-eye at UT Martin. He held a gap. He stayed in there. He was a big body, not a lot of movement, not a lot of what we do schematically. But you could see instances on tape of how powerful he was. They played Kansas State last year, and he was dominant in that game. And so those are the people we're going to play against. So now I'm licking my chops because I'm okay, we've identified one that can play. And he's powerful and twitchy enough to have a chance to get into a camp at that level. And if he has the right mindset, he's talented enough because he's so powerful and twitchy.
Yeah, and the 4-eye is a 4 technique, and he's on the outside eye. He's on that eye, so he's kind of inside the tackle a little bit, but he gets a little bit of help from the guard. The guard gets, you got a 4 in there, and you got to take on some dudes. You're not going in there going against one-on-one. You're usually getting doubled up.
People movers.
Yep.
Yeah, Deshaun McKnight has been a huge addition to this defense. Can he help, though, this team stop the quarterback power, which has been a huge issue? So I asked, and one of the things that I spotted, and again, this is me. I've been breaking down tape. I like to think I know a little bit about football. But one of the things that I've been spotting is a lot of times, and maybe not necessarily always the quarterback run game, but just the run game in particular, Danny is asking his safeties to be involved. He's asking his safeties to come down in the box. That's Dalton, that's Genesis, and those guys. And there's at times when that running back hits the line of scrimmage, whether it was L.J. Martin a few weeks ago or whoever, Connor, the other kid last week, Connor, and when they hit the line of scrimmage, your second level is about 5 yards away.
Yeah.
And so that guy's almost going to get 3 to 7 yards because there's not going to be contact soon enough for you to stop him for a short gain, although Danny thinks that there will be at times. So I asked him about that. I asked him this week about his defense being so far off the line, or his second level being so far off the point of contact. Here's what Danny had to say.
Coach, I know a couple weeks ago you talked about how the safeties play into the run game, but there seems like there's a lot of instances where when that ball carrier hits the line of scrimmage, your second level is almost 5 yards away. How do you rectify that when you've got a running back who, if he hits the line and he's not going to have contact for 5 yards, he's going to get 5 to 8 every single time?
I wish we had more time. I would love to sit down with you, David, and we can watch an entire game, and I can show you how full of crap you are. I mean, and that's not being mean. That's being, it appears that way at times, and that's how we want it to appear. When you see running backs cutting, and I wasn't being disrespectful to you. Let's have fun. When a guy cuts in the backfield, we're winning. When they're 5 yards downfield, like you said, making cuts, where there were a couple times on that Saturday, we're not. And so the different things that we do up front make it really hard for a running back to see where the hole's going to be and how they're going to cut. Now, we depending on which one, whether it's Dalton, Jen, in the Houston game, our middle linebacker was a true linebacker, probably 85% of the time. They weren't down in there because of some of the different things we were doing with the three-man front. So the biggest answer to your question is the best success we have is when the running backs are cutting in the backfield because of the different things we're doing up front. We want it to appear like they've got that window, and then all of a sudden that window's gone because a D lineman's coming down that window, because a linebacker stunting through that window, or at times a safety is stunting through that window, and then the bear shows up. He is going to be, you said 5, most of the time he's at 7. And if they read it right with the direction of it, we expect those guys to make tackles for 1 and 2 yard gains.
All right, well,
and you know who the bear was, who he's going from, was Urlacher.
Yeah.
That was their defense.
Right.
That's what he played. He came in and he was always in the backfield. That's what he did, and we don't have an Urlacher.
Well, but we played that team
right
in the inside.com bowl.
Yeah.
And me and Tron got
you
MVP
mentioned that before. Yeah.
And Tron got offensive MVP, and we did not pass at all because it's not a good run defense and stopping defense.
Yeah. Well, and even Urlacher said that.
Yeah,
this
Urlacher
week.
said
he said it at the press conference. He said, "I don't know if it's a good defense."
Yeah. He said, "When you use it, you gotta use it."
He goes, "I got a lot of tackles."
Exactly.
But I don't know if it was a good
right.
team.
Right. Exactly.
But the thing is that we got to make some adjustments because, sometimes I just don't know if you could like your defense, but you got to also be able to say, hey, man, maybe I need to change a little bit.
But when it come down to it, it's this easy. You a team and you coming in and you see 3 defensive linemen. We're running.
Yeah.
We're running because we know they're little somewhere.
Yeah.
Either it's at linebacker or DB. But somewhere they're thin and they don't have a lot of D linemen because if they did, they would be playing them. They would be playing at least, four guys in the front.
Yeah.
So, as an offense, I wouldn't even want to pass against that team and they got 5 DBs.
Right.
Especially with the way that these guys shown to play early in the year. The DB's playing well and was the best pass defense and stop. That was the worst thing for him because that made the other team say, man, we got to run because these DBs are too good to try to pass the ball.
And here's the other thing, and I'm going to ask you, Glenn, because Kelvin and I talked about this on Thursday, and one of the guys, and I thought, and the PFF grade said it, that was Genesis Smith's worst game. Of his college career. He had a PFF grade of 59. And you could see it on the tape that he was not playing well. He was not attacking the ball carrier. And granted, to me, Dalton Johnson is more of your in the box safety, where Genesis is more of your free flow to the ball. But I don't know if you want if you want Genesis Smith being a guy you have to bring down in the box every single play to make tackles. I think they've got him a little bit asking him to do something that maybe he's not equipped to do.
Yeah, Dalton's a little bit more chunkier. He's a little bit
Linebacker.
bigger.
Yeah.
He looks like a linebacker. I think that's – I agree with you. And like I said, Genesis is a great center fielder, man. I mean, he'd be a great center fielder because that's what he could roam and do and come up and help when he has to. But I just don't think you put him in the box if he has to take on offensive linemen and taking on fullbacks. I don't think that's good for him.
All right, let's hear. We're gonna skip. I want you to hear just what Danny Gonzalez had to say about Genesis Smith. We're gonna skip to J-Dub to cut 4.5 here. Here's what Danny said about the play of Genesis Smith.
They've been significant in the last 3 games, and Jen is harder on himself than anybody. And so I think you'll see a different monster on Saturday. And the coaching aspect of that, if you look at our cumulative stats, he's our leading tackler. He's left a bunch out there that are the difference between getting off the field, not getting off the field, winning and losing, and enhancing his opportunity to be a high pick. I mean, the Mel Kiper list came out. He was the 8th best safety. He's better than that, but he's got to prove it. And so he's got 5 weeks to prove it. And I think you'll see a different monster on Saturday.
Yeah, if that's your best defensive player, he's got to play like it the next 5 weeks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Got to play like it.
And I think he will.
And real ballers respond to pressure.
Yes, exactly.
You have a bad game like that, you expect, because he's been playing well all year, except for the one touchdown when the guy ran down the sideline. But he's been playing well all year. He's one of my son's favorite players, and trust me, my son don't pick guys that ain't good. He's pretty good at that. But with that being said, though, he has to admit that he didn't have a good game this past weekend and then come back and build on it this week.
All right, that's your Wildcat defense heading into the game today at Colorado.
And that's a look at the Wildcats defensive scouting report for today's game. Today's defensive scouting report is brought to you by Rocking K. Rocking K, Tucson's premier master planned community. This is Arizona football on Wildcats Radio 1290. Our Window Depot coverage of Arizona football is getting you closer to kickoff. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 2 of the pregame show is brought to you by Acclaimed Drain, Bear Down Roofing, Dorado Rock, Essential Pest Control, Goodfellas AC, Hughes Federal Credit Union, Johnson Manley Company, JT Auto, Lexus of Tucson, Mr. Rooter, Recon Auto Detail, Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Rocking K, a master plan community designed by nature. And by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed. Life well lived.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
At Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, we know your home is more than 4 walls. It's where family gathers and comfort matters most. During the month of November, with the purchase of a new HVAC system, we'll include a free water heater or take $1,000 off your installation. It's our way of helping keep your home cozy, efficient, and worry-free. Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, where home wellness begins.
Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Do you trust those in charge of your financial future? Trust is founded on 3 core principles: competence, honesty, and benevolence. Those making decisions about your financial future should always place your best interest ahead of their own. I'm Natalie Fernandez-Lee, and at Meridian Wealth Management, fostering trusted relationships with our clients is our top priority. Call us at 719-1433 or visit meridianwealthllc.com to learn more today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest growing hobbies around? Whether you're looking to start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway. And discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. November is here, and if you've got holiday travel plans or you're just trying to cross town through the crazy road construction, Jack Furrier has great news with our biggest rebates of the year. Get back $160 to $220 on all Michelin brand tires, including smooth riding, long-lasting Michelin Defender 2. Check out jackfurriers.com for even more November specials. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is the local choice with great service and 14 award-winning locations. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960. We're here to get you there.
Hi, I'm Jordan Benjamin with Done Right Services. When your home or business needs HVAC, plumbing services, or electrical work, trust a true local Tucson company, Done Right Services. We pride ourselves on delivering top-notch service, fair pricing, and expert craftsmanship. The job isn't finished unless it's done right. Weekend emergency? No problem. Just give us a call. We're here when you need us. You deserve the best, and Done Right Services delivers. Call us today for a free estimate at 520-369-3966.
Discover your perfect vehicle at Cactus Auto, Tucson's trusted destination for certified pre-owned cars for over 30 years. They offer a wide range of certified pre-owned vehicles featuring the brands and models you love. Their finance experts are here to provide you with top dollar trade-in offers and help you find the best financing options, regardless of your credit history. With approved credit, enjoy no payments for up to 90 days. Trust Cactus Auto for quality, affordable pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, all backed by incredible savings and a 7-day exchange guarantee. Visit cactusauto.com.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Looking for quality windows without the wait? Come to the Window Depot. We carry a huge selection of Milgard windows, in stock now and ready for pickup. Need something custom? No problem. From new construction to full home replacement, we'll help you order the perfect Milgard windows built to fit your space, style, and budget. Whether you're a homeowner or contractor, the Window Depot makes it easy to get the windows you need fast. Visit thewindowdepot.com to find a location near you and see why we're your Milgard window experts.
Our Window Depot coverage of UA football continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Gameday pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now back to your hosts, David Kelly, the tight end Glenn Howell, and the captain, Kelvin Eafon.
4th and 1, Arizona. Pistol set. Fafita will take the snap. Handoff. Ricino, and he didn't get it. Nope. Stop short. Houston will take over. Wildcats trying to go quickly, but Houston had, well, they filled the box. They put everybody up.
Yeah, that was the 4th and 1 play last week that did not go well. They had 3-4 downs in that game against Houston 2 weeks ago. They converted on 2 of them, but not that one. That was the one in the second quarter, and really it might have been the play that turned the game, because the Wildcats had a lead at that point, 14-7. They were going down potentially to take a 21-7 lead, and they could not, and the Houston Cougars went down and tied the game right before the half. So critical situation there. We'll get to that shortly, but if you want to get in on the program, you can today. 520-848-1290. Call us or text us. We're at the home of Fred Harvey. There's a lot of folks here that are checking out the show and enjoying college football on this Saturday here at Little Mexico, the backyard of Fred Harvey, right across the street from campus. Let's take a call on Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day and hear from T-Money. T-Money, what you got for us today?
Gentlemen, bear down. Hey, I'm not going to go with my old school 3-3-5 takes of warm butter male escort off the defense. I'm not going to say that. But what you guys just said a couple minutes ago is pretty damning, and what Urlacher said as well is pretty damning. But I will say that what Gonzalez's response to you was passive aggressive, and then I was saying that this defense is passive aggressive. It's very aggressive at some times, and then very passive other times. And it's all about physics. The only laws that have never been broken. Mass and speed equal momentum. If you don't have the mass, it doesn't matter how fast you are. If we got 3 down linemen in the on the line, or and a couple dudes in the box, and we have the announcers on TV breaking down your defense, we got problems. And hopefully Gonzalez can fix it this week. And I think it's pretty obvious. Everybody loves the Cats, but we also know what a run-stopping defense looks like here in Tucson. And I'm not angry, but that's just what I have to say.
Good stuff, Team Money. I mean, I absolutely. I've been clamoring for a middle linebacker. We need a true middle linebacker in this defense, and we don't have that right now. And if Danny, you can. I'm available if you want to break down tape. I'd love to sit down with you and break down tape every week.
I was gonna add in there. I think it's more about a personnel thing. Not having enough D linemen, which has been a problem for a while. So guys try to come up with different ways to, make it all work out. Because basically, in this defense, you have one real D lineman, and the other two guys on the end are big linebackers. So to me, it's a personnel problem with the NIL. I don't know if we can compete with the big boys for how much they're paying for those D linemen. I mean, you go look at some of them SEC schools, and I don't know how, but they have fourth string guys that would be starters over here for sure.
Yeah, and the great offensive coordinators and the great offensive defensive coordinators sometimes get out of their comfort zone, and they have to try new things. They have to try something a little out of their comfort zone, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So, you got to be able to take that shot, though. You got to be able to take that shot. If you're a stubborn guy that doesn't want to do that, you want to stick with what you got, what you know, then, that's sometimes you got to pay that price.
And I guess I speak for the voice of the fan here, but is it even possible in the middle of the season to make not a drastic change, but to change your philosophy even a little bit with something like this?
No.
Well, I mean, one of the reasons I think they put him in that spot was because they felt like he was a little bit more adaptable to the situation than maybe we were getting last year from the defensive coordinator position. So we'll see. I mean, he's got to be able to adapt to what we're seeing, and he came out this week and said to the end of the earth, he's going to figure out a way to stop this quarterback power. So we'll see if he can do it today, because at Caden Salter, that's what that's going to be a part of their game plan. If he doesn't stop it today, then he needs to blow this whole thing up for next week.
All right, gentlemen, bear down. Great show.
All right. Always appreciate you, T-Money, for checking in. All right, 520-848-1290. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
All right, we are coming to you live from the Fred Harvey Estate here in Tucson, Arizona, Little Mexico. It's Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day, and the Wildcats are on the road at Colorado for the homecoming down in Boulder and looking to snap a 2-game losing streak. And, okay, so you heard at the top of the segment there, the fourth and 1 conversion. There was a lot of talk about that. We've been talking about it the last couple of weeks in terms we had a caller that called up, I believe it was after the BYU game, said he felt like there were some zone read option run opportunities for the quarterback, Noah Fafita, that maybe he was missing. That looked like one in that instance there where if Noah had kept it and with the missed assignment there on the block, he could have maybe gotten the first down to keep that drive alive right there. Let's hear from Noah after the game, because here's what he had to say initially after the game about that play.
We had a 4th and 1 that would have changed the game. We probably would have scored on that drive, and there probably wouldn't be enough time for Houston to score at the end of the half. So that's just something where I got to pull the ball and get the first down myself, and that's one of the many plays that I made that would have changed the outcome.
All right, so he came out after the game and said that. Brent had come out after the game and said he felt like that was the play that really swung the game in Houston's favor. Now, I asked the offensive coordinator about that situation this week. Here's what Seth had to say.
Obviously, as well as the offense played in that game and Noah played, he came out after the game and said that he should have pulled the ball on 4th and 1 and ran it himself. Brent came out and said he thought that was the drive that swung the game. How are you teaching that? How are you teaching him to be comfortable in that zone read, when to give it, when to pull it, what he's supposed to be looking for so that he can be better with that down the road?
Yeah, I'm not going to throw Noah under the bus because he's going to take responsibility, even though it wasn't his responsibility. There wasn't a read on that play. What he could have done is pull it to make it right. We got beat on the edge. We have somebody for that potential gap. It didn't work out. He didn't execute. What Noah wished he would have done is pulled it to make it right. But there was no like technically read. He's got like the very edge of the defense on that specific play. And all we're doing is running duo in a condensed set where you condense all the gaps down and you just wash it down and it winds back just like we've done really all season. Just the same play as the BYU run from Ked for a big play. And it was one of those plays, like if you look at Houston, Texas Tech converted on that play every time they ran it. There was somebody else that converted on that play every time they ran it. So in that sequencing, we're in 3rd and 5, I believe. Well, what they're going to do is they're going to make us throw it underneath, all right? And then they're going to pressure us in some pressure package. And my mind was like, okay, let's run it. Let's get the 4th and short. We got the perfect play because they haven't stopped it yet. We run that same play. Again, it was a misexecution on the edge. Noah could have pulled it, yes. But is he coached to pull that? I mean, he's assuming that everybody's doing their job. And, the quarterback and the leader that he is, he's going to come off and take ownership of like, oh, I should have pulled that ball. Probably to make it right. But that's not your job either. So it's like one of those plays. And Noah's done a lot of good things and trying to make it. And he's made a lot of plays right. That unfortunately, that one, both of us, we'll look back at it and say, man, yeah, pull it, bro. You see it. You see us screwed up. Pull the ball, make it right. But at the end of the day, he made a lot of plays in that game that we're not even in it without him making those plays. So it's kind of a give or take. You're asking this guy to be perfect, and it's an imperfect game. But I appreciate Noah standing up and taking full accountability on that play. Could I have made it right? Yes, he could have. But the read is not a zone read play.
Why isn't it?
Why isn't it a zone read play?
Yeah.
Is that the one to Rizzo?
Yeah.
Because you're giving it to your big running back. If I was the running back and you didn't give me that ball, I would have a problem. Now, the problem, as he said, the blocking assignment didn't happen.
Yeah.
That's
Luke
what happened.
Wysong missed the block.
But I'm the big back. Give me the ball. I don't want my little quarterback doing it.
Yeah.
So I thought I'm happy to know that play was locked in.
Yeah,
that it was
it was locked in.
Give to the running back.
It was totally locked
instead
in.
of that. The quarterback read would be great if we had a big guy. I like Noah, and I think that he can run that. But I told you guys early in the year, I said the big part of scoring for Marshall's offense when he was the offensive coordinator
was the run.
Was the run from a big quarterback. And so I always was wondering how that was going to go there. But no, I love that he called that run play. You just wished it was blocked better.
Yeah, and I would just think that on a 4th and 1 that you're going to have some kind of a read, even if you don't, it's going to be like a extra sauce, but I hear you on the running back. I hear it for the running back right here, brother.
Yeah, that was my thing.
This brother's like, I'm the running back. Give me the rock. Don't be taking that shit.
I got to make it happen. I don't need no blocks.
Yeah.
Coach Tomey told when I played for Coach Tomey, he said, and I already knew this, but he said, hey, as a running back, it's your job to get yards.
Yeah.
My uncle used to tell me as well. He said, when they say how many yards you had at the game, they don't say the offensive lineman had how many yards. They say Eafon had 0 yards. No, Eafon gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
And so that's what the ownership of the running back has been. I guarantee you, if you would have talked to Rizzo, he would have said the same thing.
Yeah.
He would have took that on his shoulders that I got to make that happen. 1 yard?
Yeah.
1 yard, your big 230-pound back got to find somebody and run him over.
Well, and it was interesting. He came out afterward and said it was obviously he feels like you can't stop Cedric going forward, but breakdown on that play was from the side.
Yeah.
And that was the
You
issue
can't
right
run
there.
over somebody from the side.
Right.
I could.
Exactly.
I could.
Exactly. There you go.
I'm getting that.
There you go.
Bam.
I'm getting that, man. I don't know how.
Different.
Yeah, I could.
Different. That's why you were different right there. All right, let's get a break in here. Captain's Corner's coming up straight ahead. We got a couple things going on here, so we're going to retool. We're going to actually talk to Robert Benias in our Captain's Corner. Then we're going to talk to our invited guest, Eric Freeze, coming up as well in the next segment. After that, we are at the house of Fred Harvey. A lot of invited guests over here. I think I saw the Powell family here a little bit earlier as well. They're here. Taylor Powell, the state champion linebacker from South Point Catholic. His parents are in the house over there. Congratulations to Taylor. They're expecting a baby.
Yes.
Yeah. Taylor Powell's going to be a dad coming up. That's
Lamar Huntley going to be a grandpa.
That's right. That Meridian football family.
Yeah.
I like that. The Powells and the Hunleys. There we go right there. It is Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Day in and day out, we're inundated with commercials asking to review your portfolio or telling you to get a second opinion. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and I want to share the advice I give people every day. Talk to 3 different advisors at 3 different firms. It's important to understand their differences and find someone you can trust. I want Meridian to be one of your 3, and then you will decide who is best for you. To learn more, call us at 719-1433 today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
We are the rush, the pulse, the thrill you didn't see coming. Welcome to Club Soul at Casino del Sol, where Tucson's best just got better. Join Club Soul today and get $20 free play. That's right, your first play is on us. Play, earn, and unlock exclusive rewards that take your experience to the next level. More thrills, more perks, more of what
covers your Cats like we do, with press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play.
It is over. Cats have won it.
We bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Find mom's best gift at Target. Now through Mother's Day, get up to 40% off gifts for her. Discover trendy apparel and swimwear that'll elevate any wardrobe. Jewelry that'll make her smile shine brighter, and even chocolate that'll turn any moment into something sweeter. There are endless options to choose from to show her she's the best. Hurry! Save 20 to 40% on select apparel, jewelry, chocolates, and more this Mother's Day only at Target. Restrictions apply.
Once upon a time, our family had trouble with pests around our home. Did you know that stinging insects send tons of people to the hospital? And teeny ticks and mosquitoes can be all around the yard. Their bites can make people and their pets sick. Mice, rats, and roaches need food and water just like us. You do not want them to visit. They can spread disease and make it hard to breathe. I'm sure glad this story has a happy ending.
Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
It's DK on the Sports Tip. Did you hear what we were talking about?
Doing a lot of around-the-house work. New tub. We had to break up the concrete, reset the pipe.
You're going to start your own show?
Not a chance. I'm not a big HGTV guy.
How much of that work are you doing yourself?
The stripping was kind of my job. I ended up taking
stripping?
I took out the linoleum. I stripped out the linoleum.
Am I not paying you enough money that you got to strip for a living? DK on the Sports Tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
At Straight Talk, we are all about no-brainers. Calling Grandma for her recipe, no-brainer. Streaming one more episode at 2 a.m., big no-brainer. Getting real unlimited data where you buy bananas, the ultimate no-brainer. Switch now and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 5/19/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires in-store single line activation on qualifying plan. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com/terms. Copyright 2025 Verizon.
Do you disregard people's personal space? Sitting next to people in public, even if there are tons of open seats? Do people ask, how do you sleep at night? Then you should get a mattress from Mattress Firm. They can help anyone sleep. Mattress Firm's 72-hour sale is happening now. Save up to 72% off on top brands, with queens starting at $149.99. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply. See store or mattressfirm.com for details.
When I found out my son was smoking weed, I thought it was just part of adolescence.
But then I found out how powerful weed is now.
When teens use vapes or dabs, the potency can be 80 to 100% THC.
Use of high THC products by youth can cause hallucinations, cannabis-induced psychosis,
and come with increased risks of suicidal thoughts,
planning, and attempts.
Just Say No, KNOW. Go to justsayno.org today for the facts.
A public service message from Johnny's Ambassadors.
We bring you all the news and stories of your Arizona Wildcats. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Wildcats Radio 1290 for the latest highlights and commentary. Your home for U of A athletics, Wildcats Radio 1290.
More than 6 million kids in the U.S. have ADHD, and many aren't getting the support they need. At understood.org, we can help. Sometimes in class, the only thing your child can focus on are the thoughts racing through their head.
Why am I always falling behind? Why do I feel so alone? So different.
Your child is looking to you for answers. But as a parent, you probably have a lot of questions too. What should I do next? Where do I even start? At understood.org, we provide parents with the resources they need to help kids with ADHD thrive. Your child wants to thrive. Be the reason they do. Visit understood.org/thereason to get started.
They ended up winning all their games. They won 9-0 at the freshman level. So coming through, it's a nice mesh of sophomores, juniors, and seniors that they just mesh well. You know, we needed an extra energy from the last couple of years that we were kind of down. And this new group of kids just kind of revived the other kids. And like I'm telling you, it just worked out. So we got good. I'm grateful to have a lot of help down here. You know, I'm not doing this by myself, but there's a lot of people out here helping out, and we're putting on a good product out there on Friday. So it's good. It's good.
Yes, it is. Now, you speak of the help you got. How many coaches you got, man? Because I counted, and it seemed like you had a coach for every player, man. And how did you get so much help? Because I'm telling you, got at least 20 coaches. Well, what's going on with that?
I'm telling you, when you got eyes on every kid and you're coaching up, they can't turn around and say, well, nobody's coaching me up. You know what I mean? So that's what I'm telling you. I'm grateful to have as much help as I think there's the most help I've had down here, and it always pays off. You know, all those great teams have a lot of help, so it's nice that people care about the youth and want to get better. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir. Tell us a little bit about your running back that you got over there. I know you play DB as well. He seems like a great leader from the outside looking in. Tell me a little bit about him.
He is. He reminds me of you. And by the way, Captain, he's vocal. He told me a few times he's like, Coach, I need to talk to the guys. No coaches. So wait for me here, Coach. You know what I'm saying? So he physical like you were. He's smart. He knows the game. He's got a good feel for it. And at the end of the day, he's a great teammate. So I'm looking forward to see where we can get this kid, man.
Well, we got to give him his props. Jaylee Abraham is his name. He's only a sophomore, a 10th grader. Did you identify him early, even as early as last year, Robert, that he was going to be a guy that could be a dominant performer for you early in his high school life?
Yes, I had been hearing from him from a couple of my buddies that are coaching, and some are with me right now. He was a great kid. he just kind of, we were trying to keep him healthy. We were trying to keep him settled. And when he came out to high school, you could tell right away. I mean, he had the it factor. And like I'm saying, hopefully we can develop him even more and try to get him to fulfill his dream and play some college ball.
Well, I'll say this, man. I mean, I know you got more than enough help, but anything I could do to help him, man, hey, I'm here, man. You just let me know, because I used to see him over at some of his practice over at the Donald Liggins Center. They used to be over there practicing on that field, with their little league team, man. And I know he come from a real successful team, so I'm familiar with those guys for sure.
Appreciate, man. I sure be hitting you up on that offer so that you can talk to them. Sometimes these kids need other people to talk to, and it's great that you reached out so that I can have some cats come through and just, talk about their experience.
Yeah, anytime. Let me know. Hit me up, brother. Hey, you
always got the cats here, man.
You know what I'm saying? And now I'm going to talk a little bit about your U of A. You were 1993, what is it, Daily Star Player of the Year for the Southern Arizona region? What, like 1,200-yard running back?
Way back, huh?
Yeah, hey, I mean, real is real, because we always like to find out how guys got here. So,
Right.
So how did you end up getting here as far as being recruited?
Coach Norm Anderson used to be a receiver coach down here. And he's the one that kind of recruited me. And then I got to meet Coach Allerson and Coach Tomey. And that's how I got there. I got recruited as an athlete, but I think most of it at the beginning was my hands, just as a receiver. Because I got all city, I believe, my sophomore year. And then my senior year, I just told Coach, hey, just give me the ball. Let me run.
Yeah, you was pretty second with 1,200 yards.
Yeah, that was fun.
So tell me, what were some of the memories you had? Because you played around the Swarm area, so you was with Sanders. You were in between both of the great teams as far as the Arizona Swarm team and the 98 12-1 team. Tell me a little bit about the experiences of being around those group of guys.
I got to experience a little bit of that brotherhood that with Teddy, Akil, rest in peace, Big Sean Harris, B that I see every other day here at a school, Jimmy Hoffman, rest in peace. A lot of dudes that kind of took me under their wing and just kind of showed me a little bit of loyalty, brotherhood, and just toughness in general. And then with us over here, we stuck around a couple bad years, and then 98, 97 came around. We started turning it around. So it was cool to see the whole process all over again. And again, like Coach Tomey would say, a Wildcat's going to make a play at the end of the day.
Yes,
and
yes,
that's
sir.
true. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. I used to love that. Steve saying some Wildcat gonna make a play. That was his thing right there. So what games do you remember from back then that really stand out to you, as far as you playing as a former Wildcat?
I tell my kids, and I don't mind saying it, if when you're an athlete, you learn how to listen, follow directions, you get more playing time, right?
Man.
So going into my senior year, I had been playing on special teams the whole time. But come senior year, our first couple of games, playing almost half the game at Hawaii, playing half the game at Stanford. I remember Stanford. And being a captain, going out to the coin toss against Iowa, our first home game. There's a few that I remember. Playing against great opponents as well. So it was good. It's a good run, man. I learned a lot. Got something out of it. I'm still in football, doing what I love to do. So it's good.
Now, what got you into coaching high school football? Like, what sent you down that path?
Well, I guess I need to do something with myself.
I feel you, brother. I feel you.
Every kid has a dream, but I tell our kids, listen, you have to listen and follow directions. You have to do certain things to reach there. And I said, but when you don't, you got to figure out a way. So my high school principal reached out and said, hey, why don't you come down here and teach and coach for us? I said, all right. And it just started from there. Then my high school coach said, hey, man, I got a spot for you whenever you decide to start your teaching career. And I was like, you know what? Sounds good. And within 2 years from I had graduated, I started teaching and coaching, and I stuck it through.
Robert Bonillas is our guest in the Captain's Corner, brought to you by Jack Farrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Farrier since 1960. We're here to get you there.
Hey, Robert, obviously, 10-0, 6-0 region champions. We talked about your talented sophomore running back, but you also had an infusion of another talented sophomore. Greg McKinstry had been coaching up at Catalina Foothills. That unfortunately did not work out for him. So he's now on your staff as well, and he brought his son, Greg the third, over. And he's been an integral player for you as well as a sophomore.
Yeah, Greg had to sit out the first 5 games, but he's been a great addition to our team. He's our middle linebacker right now, and he's a second-string running back. I mean, I got the 1-2. We're fortunate to have the 1-2 punch at running back. If we need that, then he's a good, strong body. And again, he just like Jay Lee, defensively, he's got the nicks and knacks of where to be at, and he's a strong kid. So we're fortunate enough to have young kids on both sides of the ball.
And your quarterback, I know I'm going to screw this name up, Ryan Vasavilbaso. Is that correct?
There you go. You got it right.
Only 2 interceptions this year. What's allowed him to be so cognizant of being able to take care of the ball in the passing game so well?
He's a student of the game. He started watching more film. He's coachable, and he's been just getting rid of the ball when he needs to get rid of the ball. He's also fortunate to have a great receiving crew, a young receiving crew. We'll lose one set of hands, number 88, Fernando Soto, but everybody else is coming back. We got two juniors and a freshman right now that are his receiving core. So, hey, I'm looking forward to it. We got some young kids, and they should be together for 2 more years. So, it's fun. I'm looking forward to what we can do.
And you got another sophomore, LaMichael Flanagan. Is he out of that Flanagan football family?
Yep.
He is.
Yeah.
He is. So, LaMichael's he's got good speed for us, and he's got a good set of hands right now. He's one of our returners, and he's one of our corners. But he's a dual threat as a receiver and as a DB. So I'm looking forward to what our kids can show out.
Yeah, I mean, you got a lot of youngsters.
Yeah, you do.
That's going to be a team for a little while.
We've been fortunate trying to build it. We build it from the ground up, so hey, we can start seeing the fruits of our labor, which is good. Coach always used to tell us, hey, work hard and everything will pay off.
Yes, sir. Well, congratulations, man. I know this second side of the season, man, those guys got a right to celebrate 10-0, but I know y'all want to go on a nice little run into this playoffs, but remind them, regardless of whatever happens, man, that they're getting a lot of experience to help them going toward their next couple years. I'm not telling you because I know you know what to say, head coach, but at the same time, just add that in there, man. They got a lot to their future with these next coming years, so this experience of getting in the playoffs is going to be huge. For them. Our thanks to Arizona, 1998 linebacker, tight end, special team, Robert Bonillas, for joining us this week in the Captain's Corner. Appreciate you, man.
Hey, thanks for having me, man. Yes, appreciate you guys.
Bear down.
Good luck in the postseason, Coach.
Good luck.
Bear down, Coach. Thank you.
And that's your Captain's Corner with Kelvin Eafon. Captain's Corner is brought to you by Jack Farrier Tire and Auto Care. Jack Farrier since 1960, here to get you there. Our window people coverage of Arizona football is getting you closer to kickoff. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 2 of the pregame show is brought to you by Acclaimed Drain, Bear Down Roofing, Dorado Rock, Essential Pest Control, Goodfellas AC, Hughes Federal Credit Union, Johnson Manley Company, JT Auto, Lexus of Tucson, Mr. Rooter, Recon Auto Detail, Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, Rocking K, a master planned community designed by nature, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Life's busy. Errands, kids, work, the I-10 grind. Who's got time to sit at a detail shop?
That's why Recon Auto Detailing comes to me. Mobile detailing keeps my car spotless without losing a minute of my day.
From mobile washes to in-shop ceramic coatings, tint, and paint protection, we're Tucson's one-stop shop for keeping your ride looking new. Convenience, care, confidence, that's Recon Auto Detailing. Ceramic Pro West, Tucson.
What you're driving right now may be worth more than you think, and O'Reilly Chevrolet wants to buy it. No matter the make or model, we'll pay top dollar today or trade up to a top quality pre-owned vehicle from our huge selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs. We're on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or visit O'Reilly.com. It's pretty easy. We'll simply pay you more for what you're driving than anybody else. O'Reilly Used Cars, giving you more since 1924.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
Back your hometown favorite. Get your very own exclusive University of Arizona debit card from Hughes Federal Credit Union. Pair your new card with a free checking account that earns dividends with no monthly fees, no minimum balance, and convenient 24/7 online and mobile banking. Visit one of our 7 convenient branch locations to get your card instantly or open an account online at hughesfcu.org/wildcats. Show your Wildcat spirit all year long with Hughes Federal Credit Union. Certain restrictions apply. Insured by NCUA.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No, they use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope, only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
Spooky noises coming from your air conditioning system? Then treat yourself to the Right Way $59 Super Tune-Up and shake off the cobwebs from your AC. It's a 42-point inspection designed to maximize your AC unit's efficiency and lifespan with the most comprehensive tune-up in the industry. We'll even remove any built-up dirt, grime, and dust, and do a free carbon monoxide test. Just call Right Way, Southern Arizona's premier heating, cooling, plumbing, and electrical company today at 520-640-HOME. Right Way's $59 Super Tune-Up, a scary good deal.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Do you often worry you left your garage door open? With the LiftMaster Garage Door Opener powered by MyQ, you'll never worry again. You can control, secure, and monitor your garage from your smartphone anytime from anywhere through the MyQ app. As an authorized LiftMaster dealer, we have smart openers designed for your needs, including belt drive motors for ultra-quiet operation, integrated camera for live video streaming, and battery backup that lets you in when the power is out. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates,
Jada, before I toss this, I'm going to do
we'll visit KaiserGarage.com to learn more.
Okay. So if you just want to fire that out of the break, you don't need to do any of the scheduled stuff. Just fire that out of the break.
We'll do. We'll just need to make up a Right Way Rundown because that's also here.
All right. Well, we'll do that first. Just do so. Fire Right Way out of the break. We'll do that first, and then we'll do scoreboard, and then I'll kick it to Kelvin for this interview.
Right. Best seats at the lowest prices. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your 2025-2026 season tickets today.
Wildcats Nation, are you ready.
Fafita, gun, takes the snap, firing, corner of the end zone. Cop, touchdown, Arizona.
That's a strike by Noah Fafita.
Short drop, looking right. Here comes the pressure. They sack him. Get him to the ground. Oh, perfect timing for the Wildcats. Kick is up and it's blocked. Wildcats block it and they pick it up. And I don't think anybody's going to catch him. And it's picked off. Trayton Stooks throws to the back of the end zone. And it's caught. Samuelson, touchdown, Arizona.
Bear down, Cats. Let's go. Our Window Depot coverage of UA football continues with Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. The pregame show is brought to you by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived. We are counting down to kickoff for Arizona football. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. Let's take a look at the Right Way Rundown and see what's coming up on our pregame show. Brought to you by Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Doing things the right way.
All right, still a lot to come out here at the palatial estate of Fred Harvey here, Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. We're going to have your scoreboard here momentarily. Brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne, the injury lawyers. Best bet, or I should say, can we beat the book? That's coming up as well. Wildcats a 4.5-point favorite. We'll have your keys to the game. Brought to you by Royal Automotive, as well as still to come your pest of the game. Who'll be that Colorado Buffalo that gets underneath the Wildcats' skin today? Brought to you by Essential Pest Control. Let's take a quick look at what's happening around the rest of the country.
Let's take a look at what's happening today around the rest of the country. The Wildcats Radio 1290 Game Day Scoreboard is brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne. Goldberg and Osborne, Arizona's leading injury law firm.
All right, we'll give you just the Big 12 here. We got two games right now already final. Baylor knocks off Central Florida 30-3. Today, the Baylor Bears will be coming here in a few weeks for the final home game of the season here in Tucson. How about West Virginia? And Rich Rodriguez, winless in the Big 12, but they go on the road today and knock off Houston, handing the Cougars just their second loss. 45-35 was the final there. 3 games in progress, just 46 seconds to go in Ames, Iowa. Arizona State holding on to a 24-19 lead, but the Cyclones have the ball, 4th and 1 at the ASU 30. We'll keep an eye on that game as well. Early second quarter, mid-second quarter actually, Kansas State leading Texas Tech 7-0. Avery Johnson and company trying to get the upset there. Oklahoma State after 1, an early 7-3 lead against the Kansas Jayhawks today. That is your Goldberg and Osborne scoreboard.
The Wildcats Radio 1290 Game Day Scoreboard is brought to you by Goldberg and Osborne. Goldberg and Osborne, Arizona's leading injury law firm.
All right, we're going to send it back over to Kelvin Eafon, who has got a special guest here this afternoon.
Yes. Got a few special guests here. So I'm going to let you tell the story because you contacted me in early August, and so I think you can tell the story a little bit better.
Yeah, so I was on the Arizona football page on Facebook. And
Levi, what's your last name real quick? So
Levi Kanan.
Levi Kanan, thank you.
Yeah, and Eric had made a post about how his house had burned down and that he lost his prized possession, which was his Kelvin Eafon jersey. And so I got a lot of resources in Tucson. I've been around here my whole life. I was born and raised here. So I reached out to Get It In Apparel and Cedric Cook and said, hey, can you guys replicate Kelvin's old jersey? Because I went online and I looked everywhere to try to find a Kelvin Eafon jersey, man. I looked on eBay. I scoured all the edges of the internet and couldn't find anything. So I called Cedric and I said, hey, can you guys do this? And he goes, yeah, we should be able to do that. He goes, let me see what I can do. So he got to work on it, and then it's right in the middle of the football season, so they're cranking out a bunch of jerseys and stuff. They're a local company that's doing a lot of great work for these kids in Arizona. And he said, all right, dude, we're going to get you taken care of. It's going to take me a little while, but then I reached out to you and said, hey, Kelvin, look, here's my idea. I want to get a duplicate jersey of yours, and I want to have you autograph it so I can give it to Eric so he can get back his prized possession. And so I kind of told Eric there was a little thing in the work. I didn't give him any information about what I was doing. I just wanted it to be a surprise for him. And then, obviously, when I met you the other day, I had Kelvin come meet me, and he autographed the jersey. We talked about maybe having Eric come down and meet him since Kelvin's his favorite football player from the U of A. And so I coordinated with Eric and said, hey, man, I'll come pick you up. We'll go down. We'll go do this thing. And it's going to be a surprise for you, so let's go see what we can do. And so we got to bring him in and meet you, and, the look on his face was worth everything that we did.
Yes.
And just a great thing. And so Eric can tell you a little bit about himself and what this means to him.
It means a whole lot to me because I've been a huge U of A football fan. Even when I was ever since I was a little kid, and I followed Arizona football through that Larry Smith and Dick told me even till today, and this means a lot to me because I followed the '98 team a lot, and even though I couldn't go to their games, they were mostly sold out because of popularity, but I was still able to follow them, watch them on TV, and then watch them in the Holiday Bowl. So this meant a whole lot to me.
Awesome. And Eric and I were talking earlier, and he was talking about one of the games that he was watching on TV, and the TV station cut in the second quarter to show the U of A game. So it went you just got to see the second, third, and fourth quarter. And so he stayed up all night until K-Gun replayed the game so he could watch that first quarter because he didn't want to miss any of that football.
Yes.
So he stayed up till all hours of the morning because he's a true U of A fan.
Yes.
And, got to watch the whole game. But, it's really cool to be able to do this and to come meet you guys and, just bring him down to see this environment. And, it's a whole new world for a lot of us and just a really cool thing.
Yeah, and hey, guys, man, for me, and we got a guy, Paul Cunningham, here as well. And you guys brought Paul.
Yeah, Paul and I have been friends. We went to high school together.
Okay.
We've been friends for a long, long time. And, Paul does so much great work for the city of Tucson. And so, I thought bringing him in would be a great thing, and he could, be a part of this special thing. Obviously, Paul's a huge U of A fan and always has been. His dad was the vice president of the U of A back in the day. So lots of good connections there. And just being around Paul is always fun. It's a good time. And, so we try to do it as often as possible.
Well, it's a good excuse to reconnect with my friend and bringing back that '98 team. Kelvin, I don't need it. It goes without saying, and I know you've heard it before, but I speak on behalf of a lot of Tucsonans when I tell you how much that team meant to this community and how much the connections that the players from that team still have with this community. I also want to give a big shout out to Rural Metro and our Tucson firefighter community who helped put the fire out at Eric's house. So that's kind of what we were involved in. On the other side, the other thing I'm doing here is we have some people in Tucson who are federal employees who have now not gotten a paycheck for almost 5 weeks, going on 6. That's 3 missed paychecks. So we're doing a food drive at my office over the next week. That's at 7820 East Broadway. We'll be open 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. We're open 9 to 2 today, so you got another hour and a half or so, about 20 minutes, but to collect non-perishables on Thursday and Friday. We're hoping to collect fresh bread, produce, and milk. We have Saguaro Christian Church has lent us a walk-in cooler to store the cold stuff, so that was grateful to them. Want to give a plug to the local U-Haul who gave us 400 boxes to box all these, and these are food boxes that will have milk, cereal, protein. They'll be balanced food boxes and steady diets, and they'll help our federal employees who haven't received paychecks and quite a few of our families who have kids in school that were on food stamps and they're going to miss out on that this month. So we're working that food drive, and I just wanted to thank you guys for having me on to talk about that effort. And then other than that, let's see if we can get a W today. I know that people want to be cynical about this ball club sometimes, but I'm going to tell you, when you look at the records of the teams that have beaten this team, this ball club's they're right there. This is like that breakthrough year, like the year before we went to the Fiesta Bowl and went 10-2. Right. The year before when
Inside.com Bowl.
Yep. When the two-headed monster first emerged, I mean, we're right there. We're on the cusp of something really special, and you got to hand it to Coach Brennan and the guys for kind of sticking with it. And as long as we don't quit on this team, they're not going to quit on us. It's going to be really special for Tucson.
It's facts. First, I want to thank Paul for coming out and always doing great things for the community. And Levi, man, just appreciate him, man, contacting me. I wouldn't have, got the information, and he contacted me about it, man, and I was totally down for it. Eric, man, I just want to say, man, just from a former player, man, a lot of times, people forget you, and they forget some of the things that you accomplished on the field, and to feel that respect of someone having your jersey and it being important to them means a lot to me, man. And I just want to tell you, I appreciate you. I appreciate you as a fan, man, and thanks for everything Tucson and the whole has done for me.
Yeah, hold it up so the people can see that replica jersey.
That here's the replica jersey. They get it in apparel,
yeah,
produced
did a great
for
job.
us.
I'm gonna have to get a few of those, get it in.
Yeah.
So I'll be contacting you guys. Trust me, my son, they all want some now, man.
But we got the bear down on there, and so this will be a really cool thing for Eric to have for the rest of his life and display on his wall. Or it's even his size. I made sure I got the size that he wears so that he can wear it if he wanted to. And get him to a game or something one of these times and let him come out and enjoy the U of A football.
Awesome. Well, gentlemen, appreciate you guys coming out today.
Thanks for having us on.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it.
All right, let's see if we can, before we hit the break, let's see if we can beat the book real quick here.
Tucson, it's time to beat the book. Will the Cats beat the spread? It's time to look at the numbers and find out how you should bet the book so you can beat the book. Bet the Book is sponsored by Casino del Sol. Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
All right, Glenn's over there like eating and feeding his face. So, all right, let's see if we're going to try to beat the book here. We're going to try to beat the book. All right, so the Wildcats are a 4.5-point favorite today over the Colorado Buffaloes on the road. Wildcats are, I believe, just 1-7 on the road in the Brent Brennan era, so they've not played well in road games. Homecoming here, I think this is going to be a tight game. I could see Arizona winning this game, but I don't know if they're necessarily going to cover 4.5 today. So I'm going to take the Buffaloes and the 4.5 points.
I'm going with the Cats and the 4 because I think they're going to have a breakout. The offense has been really playing well. I think they're in for a really explosive week to have really maybe a 40-point game here today. So I'm really looking forward to seeing knowing those guys. The offense play really well, and I'm going with the Cats with the 4.
Kelvin?
Yeah, I think we win as well. I just the 4.5. I don't know. I think they got Colorado got embarrassed last week. I think they're really gonna step up. Arizona definitely lost, and we felt bad about it. But Colorado got embarrassed, and it's their homecoming. So 4.5 is just a little too rich for me.
All right, so Kelvin and I are both taking Colorado in the 4.5. Glenn is gonna stick with the Cats and lay that 4.5 number. 52.5 on the over/under. I said yesterday I thought that because both these teams might run the ball, this might be the quickest game of the season. The question is can they put the points on the board today? I do have a feeling that there might be some scoring in this game, so I think I'm going to go over the 52.5. How about you, Kelvin?
I'm going to go under. I'm going to go a little under. I know the defenses have not been playing well for either of these teams, but I believe the defense is going to step up a little bit just because of the clock running from the run game.
I'm going to go with the under, too.
All right, so Kelvin and Glenn go with the under. I'm going with the over. We'll find out after the game if we were able to beat the book.
That is how you bet the book so you can beat the book. Bet the Book is sponsored by Casino del Sol. Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf. Our Window Depot coverage of Arizona football continues. This is Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. Hour 3 of the pregame show is brought to you by ABC Heating and Cooling, Arizona Commercial Lighting, Blue Sky Pest Control, Broadway and Tucson's 20th anniversary season, Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing, First Choice Pools, Goldberg and Osborne, The Injury Lawyers, Gospel Rescue Mission, Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates, O'Reilly Chevrolet, Shamrock Heating and Cooling, Showtime Sports Cards, Tucson Appliance Company, and by Meridian Wealth Management. Wealth well managed, life well lived.
Ugh, no, not the sink. Not now.
Plumbing issues can put your life on pause. But with anytime emergency scheduling, the Neighborly Done Right Promise, and more, Mr. Rooter Plumbing will have your life flowing again in no time.
All fixed.
much better.
Mr. Rooter is proud to cheer on the Cats. Mention this ad for 10% off any plumbing service. A win for the whole family. Bear down, Arizona.
Mr. Rooter Plumbing,
a neighborly company.
At O'Reilly Chevrolet, we love trucks. We love them so much, as a matter of fact, that we've dedicated an entire month to them. And during Truck Month, right now, you can pick up a Chevy Silverado, the #1 selling full-size pickup in Arizona for the past 3 years. So what are you waiting for? Check us out at O'Reilly Chevrolet on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or go to O'Reilly.com. See us today and get that new truck at O'Reilly Chevrolet, giving you more since 1924. Together, let's drive.
think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
For over 30 years, Tucson has been putting its trust in First Chiropractic for auto and on-the-job injuries. They're locally owned and a proud sponsor of the U of A radio broadcasts. So if you've been injured, make the right choice. First
Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
At the Window Depot, builders and contractors don't wait weeks. You get what you need today. Factory direct windows, doors, cabinets, countertops, it's all in stock and ready to go at wholesale prices. Whether you're tackling a remodel or a multifamily project, we've got job site quantities and no membership required. Our windows are proudly manufactured and assembled in Arizona with small business.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do, with press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play.
It is over. Cats have won it.
We bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Find mom's best gift at Target. Now through Mother's Day, get up to 40% off gifts for her. Discover trendy apparel and swimwear that'll elevate any wardrobe. Jewelry that'll make her smile shine brighter, and even chocolate that'll turn any moment into something sweeter. There are endless options to choose from to show her she's the best. Hurry! Save 20 to 40% on select apparel, jewelry, chocolates, and more this Mother's Day only at Target. Restrictions apply.
Once upon a time, our family had trouble with pests around our home. Did you know that stinging insects send tons of people to the hospital? And teeny ticks and mosquitoes can be all around the yard. Their bites can make people and their pets sick. Mice, rats, and roaches need food and water just like us. You do not want them to visit. They can spread disease and make it hard to breathe. I'm sure glad this story has a happy ending.
Learn how to protect your family at pestworld.org. A public service message from the National Pest Management Association.
It's DK on the Sports Tip. Did you hear what we were talking about?
Doing a lot of around-the-house work. New tub. We had to break up the concrete, reset the pipe.
You're going to start your own show?
Not a chance. I'm not a big HGTV guy.
How much of that work are you doing yourself?
The stripping was kind of my job. I ended up taking
stripping?
I took
You're
out the
stripping?
linoleum. I stripped out the
Am
linoleum.
I not paying you enough money that you got to strip for a living? DK on the Sports Tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
At Straight Talk, we are all about no-brainers. Calling Grandma for her recipe, no-brainer. Streaming one more episode at 2 a.m., big no-brainer.
Glenn Howell and the captain, Kelvin Eafon.
Going for the home run ball, wide open downfield, catch at the 35, there goes Amarian Miller, it's Miller time, touchdown, touchdown Colorado. I mean, he was smacked wide open, so alone, looked like he was late for school. Stomp, hands off, runs up inside, Simeon Price on his way to the end zone, 10, 5, end zone, touchdown, touchdown Colorado, a 37-yard run, the Price is right.
All right, the Colorado Buffaloes. They've been pretty good at home, and we gave you the scoreboard in the last segment, and there's been a lot going on. We had a 4-1 team lose to a 0-5 team. This is a team that just a couple of weeks ago, even though they have not been able to stop the run the last 2 weeks, beat Iowa State at home. So a team that is very capable of coming up big today at home against the Arizona Wildcats. So as Brent Brennan said earlier this week, nothing is easy for sure in this conference. And so you've got to come and be ready to play. Let's hear from Deion Sanders on how his team has bounced back after their blowout loss last week against the Utah Utes.
Last week was a tremendous surprise because of the great practices that we had. Hats off to the young men as well as the staff, because we teach our young men to put things behind them, especially plays, and go to the next play. Now you got to put a whole game behind you and go to the next opportunity, and that's practice. And oftentimes you practice a certain way and you play that same way. These young men have responded tremendously, and I'm proud of them that they're putting it aside and saying, you know what, we're better than this. We got to focus, we got to lock in. And Mate didn't have a great game punting the ball last week. The guy was out there for an hour on his own, just kicking the snot out the ball, just working till Coach Pollack had to tell him to come in. You know, so you like that. You want to see that tenacity out of your team, and that's what we're seeing. And the coaches are holding them accountable, and I'm holding myself accountable as well as the coaches accountable. That's on us.
There you go, Deion Sanders. Again, Deion speaks the truth. I mean, Deion is the kind of coach, guys, he's not going to sugarcoat anything when it comes to his team.
Not at all. He's going to give it to you straight. That's what it should be. That's the way it should be. Don't gaslight anybody. Make sure that because that's how you lose fans when you gaslight
and players.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you use your players.
And if the players know and listen to that and say, "Man, that's not what we did,"
I'm telling you.
That's then you lose the team.
Sincere Brown is one of their top wide receivers. He's third on the team in receiving yards as well as catches, 14 catches, 279 yards this season. Sincere talked this week on his approach and if he thinks U of A will kind of throw the blitz at them like the Utah Utes did last Saturday.
For me personally, I just control what I control. I trust the process. I don't necessarily go out in the games and expect for myself to have a good game. I just try to just make sure whatever I can do for this team to win and for the offense to execute at all costs.
Do you expect to see a lot of blitz this week?
I'm not going to lie. I don't know exactly because I don't want to sit there and hold my head, this team going to blitz us because of what they saw last week. The team could come out in a totally different defense. You just never know. But, we prepare for whatever, so that's where I'm at.
So just in general, as you're watching Arizona, what do you see out of them defensively?
I just kind of see coverage-wise, they brought a cover 4 quarters team. Just got to stretch our offense as much as possible, be aware of the blitz, because obviously they saw what was on tape last week. So, we just want to see where they at all angles as much as, how they're going to see where we're at all angles. So we kind of just got to, continue to watch film, stay in our playbook as much as possible and, execute when it's time to execute.
Now, interesting. Do you think, guys, if the Wildcats throw a lot of blitzes, I mean, the issue has been the quarterback power, which is design quarterback runs, but you could get in a situation today, you throw a lot of blitzes at Caden Salter, he might just he might just bust out and run off of that action of it.
Well, it goes back to tackling. It's got to be able to tackle, can't miss tackles, got to be in the right spot at the right time. And, it's discipline. Blitzing is discipline. You got to be disciplined when you blitz. Everybody thinks that blitzing, like you're just going all out and everybody's coming, but you got to be disciplined in your blitz. If you're blitzing from the outside, you can't let that guy get on the outside. Period. If you're blitzing up the middle, he can't be able to juke you and you go up the middle. When it's wide open and you're coming up the middle, you got to be able to make that tackle. So it's got to be disciplined and being under control blitzing.
All right, before we get to our pest of the game, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290 and Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Gameday.
1290 Studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station.
And we're coming to you live from the home of Fred Harvey here, Little Mexico, in the campus neighborhood, the Sam Hughes neighborhood. It's Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. I'm David Kelly along with Kelvin Eafon and Glenn Howell. Let's find out first, before we go to Brent Brennan, who potentially that guy could be that might get underneath the Wildcats' skin today.
is the pest that the Wildcats need to be free from to win today's game? The Pest of the Game is brought to you by Essential Pest Control. Pest control with science. In Tucson at essentialpest.com.
All right, now, guys, you know I normally go defense with my pest of the game, but there's not a lot. I don't think there's very many defensive players left on that lineup. They've had a ton of injuries on the defensive side of the ball. I'm going to go with. I was initially going to go with Caden Salter because I think he's going to be the big. I think he's going to be the difference maker. But I figured you guys might be thinking along those lines. So I'm going to go with Simeon Price because I think ultimately this is going to be a running game. I think both these teams are going to try to dominate in the run, and if Simeon Price can get going carrying the football, that to me could ultimately be the difference in the game, I think, for the Colorado Buffaloes. He's a transfer out of Coastal Carolina, also spent a season at Mississippi State. The numbers don't jump off the page, in just 4 games, 143 yards, 21 carries. But again, he's a veteran guy who could be due for a big game, and this could be it for them. And if he gets it, then Arizona could be in a lot of trouble today.
Yeah, I'm going with the quarterback, Caden Salter, man, because I just think that he's elusive, and that doesn't bode well for us. We got to be able to take care of that quarterback, and then when he does run, we got to make him pay. We have to make him pay. So that's what I would like to see us laying some good hat on him, and we got to make him pay for that. But I think he's going to be our pest.
Yeah, man, I know this kid, Cedar Hill, Texas, played for my high school teammate, Nick Ward, who was a cornerback at Miami, but now he's the head coach at Cedar Hill High School in Texas. Yeah, Salters for me. I think he's a guy. I think
Texas boy.
Yeah, I think we're going to have to watch out, man, because, you heard in his voice, he didn't like the way that they performed last time, so expect him to step up.
All right, those are the guys we think are going to get underneath the skin of the Arizona Wildcats today.
That's our Pest of the Game. Brought to you by Essential Pest Control. Pest control with science. In Tucson at essentialpest.com.
It is Meridian Wealth Management, Arizona Game Day, Wildcats, and the Colorado Buffaloes coming up. We've got about another 20 or so minutes with you here from Fred Harvey's house, and then we'll send it over to the network. Brody Dryden and Kyle Quinn will take you from 2:30 right up to kickoff with Lamont Lovett, Brian Jeffries, and Mackenzie Hamilton in Boulder, Colorado on this afternoon. Let's find out a little bit about what the head coach is thinking about some of the things going on with his football team.
For all the questions that you need answered, it's DK with BB. Our David Kelly asked Brent Brennan the questions, and you get the answers. DK with BB is sponsored by Hughes Federal Credit Union. Hughes Federal Credit Union. We take you further.
All right, I asked the head coach.
Yep. Frustrating, because it was obviously, I talked about it in my press conference after the game. It was a huge momentum play in the game.
Coach, obviously you've had a ton of success in the 4th down piece this year and going forward. What is the conversation like with you and Seth on those calls? I would imagine you tell him, I want to go for it, and then how does it evolve from there? Do you discuss what you want in that situation, or does he have to?
Yeah, it has to happen pretty fast, right? It has to happen pretty quickly when you got a play clock burning. But lots of times that'll happen on the previous play, right? So we're 3rd and long or 3rd and medium, and I'll say, hey, you got 2 downs here. So that Seth can make the, play call before 4th down, knowing that he's got another shot at it, right? So that opens up a little bit more to the idea. But, the other person that's been great with that has been Danny, right? Because, sometimes when you do those things, if you don't get it, you're putting the defense in a tough situation. But Danny's ready to play defense anywhere. So it's the conversations between the 3 of us have been really, really positive.
Coach, you mentioned on the 4th and 1 you didn't get that was a designed run play to hand it off. All 3 of the ones were run plays. You were obviously successful on the other 2. But what's the RPO element in that in terms of Noah's ability to make the decision whether to keep it a straight run or to keep it and go? And how's he doing in that respect, do you think?
He's doing great in that respect. And I think that there's a difference there, right? That was not a called RPO. That was a straight called run. Very different, right? Run PO or RPO is run pass option. Right. He can do either. And he's really good at that stuff, you know what I mean? And so I think that's why you see him hitting some of those throws, 24 or 26. You know what I mean? Like, it's him making good decisions with the ball in his hand.
Now, just quick, then he said after the game, though, he should have pulled it. So he didn't, but that wasn't an option there for him to pull it.
Pulling it and throwing it are two different things, right? Because on that play, there was not a pass option, right?
So he could have pulled it and
He could have pulled it and kept it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you see in Buffalo's quarterback, Caden Salter, obviously one of the newer quarterbacks in the league, young guy? What do you see there?
He's an explosive football player, and he can make the throws he needs to make, but he's also dangerous in the run game, which is obviously something that we've had to deal with the last couple of weeks. But really good football player, and I know they've had a couple of different guys play this year, so we're kind of preparing for all of them because you don't really know which one it's going to be. But they all bring a little bit of something different to the table, but they all are obviously high level, high talent, and really, really good. So we're going to be ready for whatever shows up. We just got to line up and play.
Coach, I know Danny last week kind of talked about, really the role of the deep safeties in the run game, and he talked about Dalton and Traden and those guys coming down into the box to try to be that middle linebacker. But how much do you think this defense really needs a true middle linebacker, and how much maybe could a guy like Riley Wilson be that guy for this defense?
I think Riley Wilson is playing exactly where he should be. We're getting a lot of production out of him and Max. And so, and the combination of what we're doing schematically, it's hard when you don't get the results you want, because then everybody needs to blame something. You know what I mean? But we're playing good defense, and obviously it wasn't good enough on Saturday, but I'm confident with Coach Gonzalez and that defensive side of the ball. Those guys will get going. They'll get that thing on track.
Rhino got back in there, obviously had a big block on the last touchdown by Kedrick. Just kind of what's the advancement been for him maybe over the last couple of weeks?
I think Rhino's moving in a good direction, and I think there's been a lot of positive growth and development with that offensive line. I think Coach Oglesby's doing a great job with those players, and I think we've seen that production be solid. And so, Rhino coming off that injury, basically we're right at the line where he got hurt a year ago. You know what I mean? So, it's just now a year. And so for a big person like that, with the movement that he has to do and those kind of things, I think his progress has been good. Also, we're being smart with him in terms of making sure his path back to playing full time and his path back to being a consistent contributor, that he's ready for that, because he was a redshirt freshman that started 6 games and then tore his ACL. So in truth, he hasn't played a lot of football, right? And so I'm excited about what he's doing and the path that he's on. And I think we're just going to continue to see more and more good things from him throughout his career.
And those are the questions that you needed answered. DK with BB is sponsored by Hughes Federal Credit Union. Hughes Federal Credit Union. We take you further.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
At Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, we know your home is more than 4 walls. It's where family gathers and comfort matters most. During the month of November, with the purchase of a new HVAC system, we'll include a free water heater or take $1,000 off your installation. It's our way of helping keep your home cozy, efficient, and worry-free. Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing, where home wellness begins.
Picturox Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up with science.
You mean they don't use yesterday's newspaper?
No, they use the latest in technology and innovation to eliminate bugs, bees, termites, weeds, and more.
So no as seen on TV salt guns?
Nope, only solutions that target insect biology, using chemistry to help protect the environment, people, and their pets.
You are so smart.
Essential Pest Control leaves bugs belly up. Call 886-3029 or visit essentialpest.com.
Ready to score a new vehicle? Whether you are looking for a new car, truck, or electric vehicle, at Royal Kia, we know exactly what you want. A quality vehicle at a great price and to be treated fairly. We stand by our transparent online pricing, offer a 72-hour buyback guarantee, and you work with our no-pressure, non-commissioned sales staff. Royal Kia, the dealership that's different. OAC plus tax, title, license, dealer installed options, and $589 doc fee. Royal Kia, Speedway in Columbus, or royalkia.com.
The garage is more than a place to park your car. It holds prized possessions, and for most, it's a bustling entryway to the home. That's why LiftMaster designed the first ever opener with a built-in wide-angle camera and two-way audio, so you can see what matters and secure what's inside. Ensure your family and prized possessions are secure with a reliable garage door opener that's built to last and powered by MyQ for smartphone control. The team at Kaiser Garage Doors and Gates are your locally owned LiftMaster professionals. Visit kaisergarage.com to learn more.
Nobody does big screens like this. At Roadhouse Cinemas, every movie is massive with thundering surround sound and food and drinks delivered to your seat. Then, just steps away, Roadie's Lanes Games and Gastropub turns game day into an event. Huge screens with every play in full view. Hit the lanes, throw an axe, battle it out in laser tag, crush it in the arcade, or crazy darts. Movies, sports, food, fun, all in one place. Roadhouse and Roadies, 2 epic experiences, 1 unbeatable destination. Corner of Grant and Swan.
ABC Water and Air, your local comfort experts. Proudly serving Tucson and surrounding areas with HVAC and plumbing services you can trust. Fast, affordable, and reliable. Got a breakdown? They guarantee service within 24 hours. From AC tune-ups to plumbing inspections and duct cleaning, they've got you covered. Ask them about their True Tune-Up Gold package.
Thing in there at 9.
It's more than just a checkup.
Let's do the Trace Spivey highlight there.
Visit abcwaterair.com. ABC Water and Air,
and then we'll
always
talk to
bringing
Fred
comfort.
and then do keys after that.
Perfect. Let's get Fred's keys too.
We know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest growing hobbies around? Whether you're looking to start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway. And discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion.
Our Window Depot coverage of UA football continues. This is the Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day pregame show on Wildcats Radio 1290. Now back to your hosts, David Kelly, the tight end, Glenn Howell, and the captain, Kelvin Eafon.
3 feet a long snap count. Here comes the rush. Pump fake again. Gets away. Fires on the run. Caught for the first down and more. And there goes Trey Spivey. He's going to score. 10-5. Touchdown, Arizona.
That's a big-time play.
Noah, if he takes the snap here, a rare one under center. He'll hand off to Spivey around the left-hand side. Turns the corner. Headed for the corner. He's in. Touchdown, Arizona.
That's an excellent call by Arizona, perfectly blocked. It was just a race to the sideline, and Spivey won that one with flying colors.
6 touchdowns for Trey Spivey this season on just 11 touches. 6 touchdowns on 11 touches. He has 10 receptions and 1 rushing attempt. He scored on that rushing attempt against Houston, and he has scored on 5 of his 10 receptions this season. That's a guy you got to get the ball in his hands because good things generally happen. Welcome back to our final segment of Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day. We're going to get our keys to the game coming up. Fred Harvey's going to join us as well for that. Let's, though, first hear from Noah Fafita on his wide receiver, Trey Spivey, who had 2 touchdowns in the loss at Houston.
Yeah, I think he just continues to get more confident and more comfortable. I told him this week that when he knows the play and he has no doubt in his mind about what he's doing, he's unstoppable. So you're starting to see him become more comfortable in the offense. He's a playmaker. Every jump ball, it's really 70-30 his.
70-30, not 50-50, but 70-30, Trey Spivey for sure. And that 70-yard touchdown, guys, what I liked about that was, again, it wasn't a perfect pass, but it was a pass in the receiving zone. Trey Spivey was a little low, but Trey went down and grabbed it, and then he turned on the jets. I mean, we've seen a lot of those plays where he's kind of one-on-one in the end zone, but this was one where he had a chance to be in the open field and show a little bit of his speed as well.
Yeah, and I think that they underestimate his speed because of how tall he is. So I think that he is a guy that you just got to get him in space, let him try to do his thing, because you've seen him on some of those other touchdowns he's had where he catches the ball, makes a move, and gets into the end zone. He's got that good first step that can drive it in underneath the hip and get out of there.
Well, you can tell he has a track background.
Yeah.
Coach Harvey. You can tell he has a track background because of the way he believes in his acceleration. Usually guys that sit there and start pitter-patting and trying to make moves and stuff, he puts his foot right in the ground and gets north and south. So that there tells you that he has some training and some development and understands how to get north and south.
And Trey said he doesn't want to be known as just a guy that can catch jump balls, 70-30 or whatever. He wants to be an all-around wide receiver.
I think that just understanding the field and coverage, understanding leverage, those are huge factors in just me growing, finding ways to get myself open. I've always wanted to be a player that doesn't have to rely on only my physicality and just get covered up, and a ball's thrown to me, he makes a catch. I want to be a well-rounded receiver that can dominate in different areas as a receiver. So that was huge for me.
What he's saying, he wants to be a pro. That's what he wants to be. He wants to be a pro because he's talking about leverage. He's talking about route running and being able to understand coverages. Those are all things that you have to be a pro.
We're going to welcome back our esteemed host today, Fred Harvey, out here at the Fred Harvey Estate. He likes to also refer to this place as Little Mexico. So Fred, tell us the story of why you call your house here this beautiful backyard, lots of different plants and trees and palm trees and whatnot. Just don't come here in the evening because there's a lot of mosquitoes. I think you tripled my mosquito bite count when I was here last Saturday. I had gotten through the summer pretty good, and then I came to Fred Harvey's house and I got eaten alive last Saturday. So, but why do you call this Little Mexico? Hold on. Let me make sure I got you there. Okay, go ahead, Fred.
Right. Yeah, when you get the opportunity to look at the home, and you look at Tucson and what the perception that people have of Tucson if they've never traveled here, and I'm guilty of it. You think of desert, you think of tumbleweed, you think of dirt, you think of blowing wind, sand, and I used to recruit that way. Coach, I don't want to come there because you don't have a beach. I said, no, we got plenty of beach. We got a whole lot of sand. We don't have any water. So we're all good there. But when you look at our home and you come to the backyard, you really feel like you're in a different place than the perception of what people have of Tucson and our high desert, if you will. If you've spent any time traveling, through certain regions of Mexico, Sonora area in Mexico, and you look at the vegetation and the growth there, in the home, it's an adobe home that was built in 1928. Again, it's no rhyme or reason other than in my mind. I've taken some trips to Mexico. I said, this is Little Mexico.
Yeah.
That was really the only premise. Like no logistical things other than it was just
palm trees. You got everything.
Yeah, I have a little bit of everything back here. And I did handle the mosquito problem.
Oh,
so I was like, Dave, man, there's one right there. That takes care of it.
Here's the one thing that we could actually get rid of is that thing sitting over there in the corner, that Pittsburgh Steelers flag there. We could get rid of that if you'd like.
We put a Raider one up there.
Y'all see that's the problem in life, and that's why people are hating on Kansas City right now because they're winning. And I'm a big fan of winning.
You were boasting a little bit up 16-7 last week, and then things didn't go well after that. See, that's why you can't be posting stuff when your team's up in the first half.
Like I said, it's not a sprint, baby. It's a marathon. We got 17 weeks. And so,
now he's a marathon guy instead of a sprint.
Exactly. We just have to get to the playoffs.
Do you think, Fred, we'll ever see an era where we have the football track crossover? We haven't really seen that a lot here in a number of years. We thought we might get it when Speedy Luke was here because he was a track kid who obviously loved that aspect of his prep life as well, but he got hurt his first year and it really didn't work out after that. Do you think we'll see those guys that cross over and do track and field and maybe can help turn Arizona back into what they were in the early 90s when you had some pretty good sprinters on that squad?
Yeah, I think, okay, I don't have to be politically correct anymore. I'm just a dude that loves Arizona sports.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, speed kills. Okay? And everybody has their guy now in the weight room that think they believe in how to develop speed. I'm not indicting any strength coach.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But at the end of the day, men will run faster, will compete harder. If me and Kelvin is going to go head to head, say, hey, Kelvin, you know what? We're going to run a 40, bro. Okay? And we're going to go head to head out here. Okay? Me and you, we're getting ready to go. Okay? I don't care what you've been doing in practice and all that crap. We're going to go head to head. You think this man going to just step down, just let me whoop him? No. He's going to bring it. And competition brings out the best in every athlete, whether you are on the volleyball court, whether you're on the football field, whether you're on the track. Competition head-to-head brings out the best. Right? You can train. I'm a big fan of training, huge fan of training. But if I'm going to get better, think about everything that football coaches say. Oh, we get through the first 2 games, and now we know what our team is. We're starting to get ourselves into the groove of what we're doing. Well, why is that? Because you're competing, man.
Yeah.
You're competing. And so getting track and field athletes who are football players, think about the best ball players that you've ever seen. And, yeah, they have elite speed. They have elite talent. But being able to be on the track, and all that's going to take is for a track coach to say, I'm going to step back for a moment, like with Michael Bates. Right? Michael thought he was a running back, and he thought he was going to be a running back going into the NFL. And I don't mind saying this because I'm bashing the dude. But guess what? You're not a running back. Your brother Mario.
Yeah.
That
speed.
All right, we got to get our keys to the game in here because we're running out of
speed.
All right, we got to get our keys to the game in here because we're running out of time. Let's do that. We'll also get Fred's keys as well.
Yeah.
Wildcats fans, what are the big keys for today's game? Our keys to the game are brought to you by Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive Group, the dealership that is different.
All right, Glenn, keys to the game. What do the Wildcats need to do to win today?
I got 2 keys, the same thing. 2 keys. This probably can fit the same door.
Run the ball.
Run the
and
ball.
Stop
the run. That's exactly.
I've been with you too long to not know what that was.
Come on. If you look at this team and what we've been doing, in order for us to win, we have to run the ball and we have to stop the run.
And I'll add, stop the quarterback run.
Yes.
I think that's going to be huge.
Yeah.
And I think we need to run the ball.
Mm.
I think we need to run the ball so it'll open up a little bit more room for Noah to be successful on the back end.
And if Noah throws 30 or more, we're not going to win this game.
Real quick. What do you think the percentage is run to pass this year for this offense?
For this offense?
Yeah.
I think we're probably 60-40.
51.
What?
51.
49.
51 pass to run. 51 49.
Wow.
It's a lot more balanced than you would think.
Yeah.
A lot more balanced than you would think.
Wow.
Fred, what do you think? What do you think the Wildcats need to do to win today?
Well, football is very simple to me. You got to control the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm a head football coach, you know, I love all the fancy tools and all that. I'm a big fan of that. But you know what? I'm getting the big dudes who are athletic that can control the line of scrimmage. If I can control the line of scrimmage,
control the game.
You can't run against me. I control the game. If I control the line of scrimmage on the offensive side, and I know that, hey, you know, I got 2.5 minutes left to go, and I got to run this damn thing out. And guess what? We're going that way.
Yeah.
Stop me.
Yeah.
I want to see this for this. I want to, and along those lines, I want to see the TFLs get back. I think when this team is at its best, this defense is its best when it can tackle guys behind the line of scrimmage. So what if Danny was talking about earlier, they need to make sure that those guys are trying to cut behind the line and not cut after they get in front of the line. I want to see that TFL number back up close to 8 today, because that's when Arizona's defense is playing extremely well. And like you said, I agree with everything you guys said. I think you need to dedicate the opportunity to run the ball with those 3 guys today, Ishmael Mahdi, as well as Kedrick Risino and Quincy Craig. That's what we think the Wildcats need to do to win today against the Colorado Buffaloes.
Those are our keys for today's game. The keys to the game. Brought to you by Royal Automotive Group. Royal Automotive Group, the dealership that is different.
All right, that's going to wrap it up for us here from Little Mexico. Fred, real quick, 10 seconds. Thank you.
It's my pleasure and such an honor to have you all in my backyard here.
We love it.
Bear down, Tucson, Arizona.
There we go. Appreciate everybody that joined us. Ray Wells, Robert Benias, Eric Freeze was here, Levi Conan, Paul Cunningham. Coming up next, it's the Arizona Wildcats and the Colorado Buffaloes. We'll talk to you after the game. Bear down, Arizona.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats radio broadcast. Two powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. CoolWillies.com.
I come from a low-income family, and as a first-generation college student, it was difficult for me to navigate the way. Hughes Federal Credit Union and Earn to Learn provided a pathway for me to learn valuable budgeting and financial education. I am currently a graduate student in public health, helping my younger siblings with their college paths.
Find out how Hughes and Earn to Learn join forces to support student success at hughesfcu.org/earn to learn. Insured by NCUA. Certain restrictions apply.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. November is here.